dispatch of people across a number of sites in Australia. That's why the return of services was progressive. The equivalent of 19,000 street deals of cannabis worth up to $500,000 has been seized at Wingfield. Around 57 kilos of vacuum-packed cannabis was located in a vehicle at a business premises yesterday. A 60-year-old man from Two Wells was arrested. Detectives then searched his home. He fronted court today. The Prime Minister is calling for calm following protests in Melbourne and Sydney in recent days. Pro-Palestine and pro-Israel supporters clashed in the mainly Jewish suburb of Caulfield on Friday. A motorbike convoy adorned with Palestine flags made its way through Sydney's east over the weekend. Anthony Albanese telling Parliament such provocative actions don't help anyone.
I condemn unequivocally as well the decision by some to have a demonstration in Caulfield on Friday night, as I condemn unequivocally the decision to ride motorbikes through the eastern suburbs of Sydney.
The opposition claims the release of 80 asylum seekers from indefinite detention will pose a safety risk to the community. The High Court has ruled indefinite detention is unlawful, overturning a 20-year-old policy. A rapist and murderer are among those allowed out on strict visa conditions. Shadow Immigration Minister Dan Tehan using question time to claim the government hasn't done enough to address the issue.
Under the Albanese Labor government, the decision to release 80 hardcore criminals will result in more violent crimes against Australians. Why hasn't this government drafted any legislation to keep Australians safe from these criminals?
The ANZ has posted a record full-year cash profit of $7.4 billion, a 14% increase on a year earlier. The financial return is just shy of expectations. Chief Executive Shane Elliott says the bank is continuing to strengthen the balance sheet, branching out into institutional banking for large companies. Now turning to 5AA sport, and tickets to the Crows-Swans game on Saturday night have now gone on sale to the general public. The semi-final will be played at the Parade on Saturday night. Tennis, and Novak Djokovic has made history with his win at the ATP finals in Italy. The NRL claims it has addressed fears of player burnout in its newly released draw for 2024. And Australian basketballer Dyson Daniels has scored 17 points as the Pelicans lost to the Mavericks 136-124 in the NBA. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Afternoon at Parahurst West, Van V Motorbike, Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Linden Park, twisted traffic light on Port Roast Road near Greenhill Road, while at Jepps Cross, a breakdown on Green Junction Road near Main North Road. In the Parklands, Wakefield Street is closed on Reeks Terrace in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. I got a camera today, High Streets at Wollonga. Freedom's Black Art Sale is on. Elevate your entertaining with up to 25% off selected sofas, living and dining furniture. Sale on now, only at Freedom. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Becoming cloudy this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 23, the same on Wednesday, then Thursday partly cloudy 22. Right now it's 20 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Braglis. Tonight, SA's new COVID wave. The advice from health authorities, plus where mask mandates have just been reintroduced. The free website, making it easier for you to buy a new car in SA. The savings accounts paying out interest higher than inflation. Plus, home internet price rises loom. The experts on the best value, safest and most reliable plans. See the full story live on 9 News at 6 p.m. and on 9 Now.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
6 minutes after 4 on your Monday afternoon. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. Not so well for our local sporting teams. We'll get into all of that and more as I welcome Stephen Rowe and Timmy G.
Oh, thank you, Sammy. Well, other than the Redbacks winning in a thriller, Reds got smoked, the 36ers got smoked, Crows women got smoked, the Strikers got smoked. Oh, well, it was the last ball. They lost, Timmy. It was the very last ball. Our Aussie cricket team are in the World Cup semi versus South Africa Thursday. We'll talk about that. They're playing for what I'm going to call the Herschel Gibbs Cup. Timmy, welcome. He did drop it.
You having a go at Herschel again?
Yeah, well, why not?
He
Well, how
sort
many
of
years ago
took
was
it, but he threw... I think that was that 99?
99 World Cup.
24 years ago.
Yeah.
So let's start there, Timmy. Welcome.
Thank you
have
very
a
much,
nice
sir.
day, did you?
Terrific weekend. I was obviously spent the Saturday night with your good
Yes,
self.
you did. And why, Jimmy? Well, actually,
Yeah.
we'll get to that because I think you want to call me a name.
Oh, well, I want to question
A
something.
five-word
Yes,
name,
I do.
are you?
Yes,
Oh, God,
I
I
am.
didn't think you would. Hey, the history in World Cups between Australia and South Africa is checkered at best. We play them Thursday night. Winners through to World Cup final versus the host nation. It will be India. God, they haven't lost. They look unbelievable. They're
Unbeatable, don't
undefeated.
they?
Glenn Maxwell will return, which is terrific. Mitchie Stark will be back in. We're chugging along nicely. We just need to get the cock out early. He's made 4 tons.
Oh, he's unreal.
He loves playing us.
What are you saying? I like a dead fish?
Yes.
He's got that, hasn't he?
God, yeah.
Do you know the thing about this?
He's there, Maxwell.
Do you remember Australia, New Zealand, the World Cup here in Australia and New Zealand? And New Zealand were bashing everybody over in Kiwiland, smaller ground, see? Yeah. And Baz Ball himself, McCullum, was knocking everything over every boundary and the like. We played him on the MCG in the grand final.
Got caught on the ropes all the time.
No. Stark bowled him. Boom.
First ball.
First ball.
Was two.
And the
Remember that?
World Cup was done.
Gone. Done.
And you know what? That's the sort of thing that if Stark or somebody like that can do that to Quentin de Kock, then that's the sort of thing that just throws them out because they're used to him getting 100.
We got the premiere at about 1:15. Don't miss that. So we'll get through it. In 1999, it was the 7th one-day World Cup. Host nation was England. Now, we've won 5. South Africa have never won a one-day World Cup. 0, zip, neato, nada, nothing. So let's set it up. In that semi-final, we beat South Africa. They were raging red-hot favourites. Raging. Could not have been any hotter. They posted 271 off 50 overs, 7 for. Herschel Gibbs actually made a ton off memory.
Yes.
We in reply, 1 for 6, 2 for 20, 3 for 48. We're in all sorts. Steve Waugh was then dropped.
That's out.
Oh, he's dropped it. I don't believe it. That's unbelievable. He was throwing it up. He thought he had it. It was a little lollipop. And the man who did so well with the bat has taken his eye off the ball, and the ball has just dribbled out of his fingers. He was about to throw it up.
The great Tony Greig, it did. He choked. There's no doubt about it. He absolutely choked. Waugh went on to make 120 not out, man of the match. And he famously said, "Hey, Herschel, you just dropped the World Cup."
Wow.
And he did. So on the back of that, what are some great sporting chokes? 822300000. Again, any level, any sport, any time, you might have your own little favourite story. You are the red hot raging favourite. There might have been clowns in the media playing. Where is it now? Where, can you feel it? You know,
there might have
been. Like
Yes.
D-heads like me. The 2017 Crows grand final loss.
Oh.
That's one.
Yep.
That's a choke. Would you call that a choke?
Well,
I mean, little did we know how good Richmond were, because he went on to win 3 out of 4.
Correct.
Maybe it wasn't a choke, but for me it was back then.
And Richmond's form line through into the finals was actually very good.
It was very
but
good.
I think, again, everybody was just looking at the way Adelaide were playing. Yeah. And they were on fire and whacked Geelong here. And you just thought, well, this machine can't stop. But it was it was a weird first quarter and then an even weirder second quarter.
You know what? A choke is you're not at your best.
You're not at your best when you're favourite.
That's exactly right.
That's the issue.
So what are some great sporting chokes? There's an example. Jimmy, that's my Jimmy, and I were guests of Adelaide United and Timmy G, Adelaide United Sydney FC match Saturday night. I used to take James all the time. I told you about that. I used to throw him in the air after goals and all that sort of stuff. Half time we were 4-0.
He was in no fear of being thrown in the air.
4 minutes in the second half, we were 5-0 down, and I'm starting to think, is it me, Timmy?
Yeah, well,
you have a theory.
You said I called you a name and it started with a C.
Yeah.
You're the curse.
No lies.
I did say to him, I said,
After
you're
goal
not coming
1,
again.
Robbie, you're the curse. Goal 2, Robbie, you're the curse. Goal 3.
I said, you're not coming again.
Yeah.
And then he
See,
quickly handballed the curse. He said,
James.
It's not my fault, it's Jimmy's.
James goes to 36's games. We never lose.
Yeah.
James comes to Reds games. He is the curse. But
he's passed
anyway,
it on.
we went down 5-0. Have a listen.
Lolly gets there ahead of Kitto. Looking to float it, Fabio Gomez! Unbelievable. Less than a minute played at the start of the second half, and Sydney FC increased their lead to 5.
Well, it's disaster for Adelaide.
Well, we were 5-0, but we
At
ended
that
up
stage,
ending
yeah,
up
yeah,
5-1 in the end. Last year I said no goody, no Reds. This year I'm saying no Nestori, no Reds. And Coach Calviet, very prickly, doesn't agree.
Do you think you struggled to cope without Nestor on the wing?
That's a silly question. He's a 17-year-old kid that's missing from a game. Come on, there's 11 players out there tonight.
Ooh, he was filthy on that loss. And rightfully so. You're playing the bottom side.
They hadn't scored a goal.
Not a goal in 3 games.
Correct.
And they've just, all they've done is change their manager. And you always know there's a bit of a response when that happens. And I interviewed Cosmina before the game. You were there. And he said it could be a danger game. And he actually said, I didn't like what I saw last week. So he was already a little bit on it. He said, so yeah, they're going to have to be on their toes. Well, what a result that was.
God, so don't mention Nestor here and Kunda to Carl Viet as being the difference like Goodwin.
I would have hated to be in those rooms afterwards.
He
would have pasted them.
Can we get Carl Viet on tomorrow or the next day? I'm going to ask him that exact question.
No, you're not.
Eugene Galekovic is on tonight.
I won't be on the show.
Close as you'll get.
Huge.
Yeah.
I'll ask Huge.
Well,
Huge.
his poor boy had a nightmare with all the goals coming
poor
in.
Joe.
Poor Joe. It's been outstanding.
Yep.
He had no help. Poor bugger.
He went from a Hague's chocolate to a boiled lolly. I think he's worried about playing Palestine in Kuwait.
I don't think he is. No.
Okay. Our 36ers fell short at home to the Jack Jumpers. DJ rallied. His last quarter, unbelievable. Anyway, we lost by 10.
We got a little stagnant, then we went faster and got to play with a little bit more pace. We were able to get into it. Then we went back and we turned the ball over early, so that hurt us and put us in a bad spot. And then I can feel the energy dropping in the group.
So we got them Friday. Yeah. DJ, our own DJ, is now DJ against Greeky.
Yeah.
Friday night. Get their 36ers will bounce back. Gather rounds landed. It's round 4. It's April 4. Crows v Demons Thursday night. Port v Bombers Saturday night. They're going to be 2 cracking games. You know what it is?
Great result.
It is. National TV audience, prime time, absolutely superb. Again, we'll speak to the Premier immediately after the break. And Live Golf. Timmy, you're right again. I mean, you know, you've done a carra. You're a blind squirrel. You tripped over that.
No, you know what? I
had
my nose to the turf, didn't I?
You did.
I was there all the time, getting the intel. The only thing
You were 1 week off.
I was a week off.
You were 1 week off.
Yeah.
All due credit.
Yeah.
So it's the 26th to the 28th. I see this to the Brecky team this morning. Easter eggs, you know, all
bit
that
bloated.
Indulgence.
Yep.
And you do drink a bit.
Yeah, I think
it's good fishing weather.
It is.
From that to gather round, you know what? 8 games here.
Yep.
God, that's going to be big. Anzac weekend's my favourite, most significant weekend of our calendar into Live Golf.
Wow.
How's your liver? I said that.
Tell
You're
you
going to
what.
need a big sponge for that month. That's a massive
I
month.
was saying earlier to Angie, I mean, we've got Mad March. Don't forget Mad March.
This is Mad March.
And when we're launching into all things April. It's going to be incredible.
Mad March into, how can we call April? What's a thing for that? Madge March into Angry April, Aggressive April.
Amazing
whatever.
April.
Anyway, it's happening. A good job they've done that. So pre-sale access, you can register now. So if you want to go, you can pre-sale access. Ticket sales for the public is December the 6th. But here's the big one for business owners and those that are along this line. Hospitality tickets go on sale in 2 days' time.
For Gather Round?
November 15th. No, this is for Live Golf.
Oh, Live, right.
Honestly,
jump onto that.
Get your budgets in place because that will go like hotcakes.
Because of the popularity of last year and it being voted their best event in the world, get in early.
Premier after the break.
16 minutes after 4, as you said. Peter Malinauskas to join us shortly. Anne Hatchard will talk to Eugene Galekovic. We'll chat Gather Round with James Fantasia from Norwood and Simon Westwood out at Mount Barker. Lots to talk about locally. Matilda Garrett is a successful captain of Australia's Netball Fast 5 team. Lots to come and heaps of your calls as well. Get involved. 8223 0000. Premier after the break.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Be listening to the 5AA Interactive Lounge this Tuesday with Angie McBride,
Chief Executive Claire Scapanello from ECH will be talking about the importance of having effective, individualised home care packages and how ECH can guide you to a package that's perfect for you. Catch the ECH Interactive Lounge this Tuesday with Angie McBride. Call 8223 0055.
Not all of us are lucky enough to call the hills home. We need room to breathe, space to dream. We choose to discover what is on the road less travelled. And when you turn off the freeway to Mount Barker and go left, you'll discover the home of Mazda in the hills. Mount Barker Mazda has it all. Mazda 2, 3 and 6 to BT50 and SUVs. Take the road less travelled to Mazda's home in the hills. Mount Barker Mazda, since 1954. Mount Barker Road, Totnes. LMVD 325189.
As we all know, SA is going through a housing crisis right now. But McGain Real Estate really want to help. If you're a landlord looking to sell your property, but you're feeling a bit guilty about disrupting an awesome tenant, McGain have landlords ready to purchase your property and keep that tenant in place. The team at McGain have hundreds of landlords ready to buy investment properties, so there's no need to stress about asking the tenant to move out or waiting for the lease to end. Visit mcgain.com.au.
Got a soft spot for Colombia because I'm watching Narcos.
You are.
But not only that, I love Simply Coffee. Peter,
Yes,
Lucy
you do.
and Sally, they are the loveliest people.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I said that, you brought back some Colombian pods. Oh, God.
Are they any
Don't
good?
worry about going down the narco. They should have just stuck to coffee.
They should have stuck to coffee, exactly.
I know they hide things in coffee beans, but
no, they could have gone and seen Peter.
they should have.
And roasted them up
You
like
clowns.
he does.
Mate, honestly, those who truly love coffee know there's no end to the search for that perfect blend. Well, there is no end, but there is now. It is this. It is Simply Coffee. I found it.
You found it.
Just
the Colombian pod.
I found it about 18 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Been
true.
the same place for about 18
you
years.
are a long-termer.
Yeah.
So Simply Coffee is heaven to Adelaide's coffee fanatics. You send them home with the fresh and traditionally roasted coffee beans, and they do this daily.
Oh,
I've watched Pete do it. I
Walk
filmed it.
in to the right, there's the roaster
I filmed
there.
it.
And
Oh, the smell is magnificent.
God, stop it. They're masters of beanology. They understand every coffee connoisseur has their own flavour.
That's true.
Look, we do. And we'll find yours with a selection of 18 beans from across the globe and unlimited blends, providing either as fresh beans or espresso compatible capsules. They do all of that. Mine's a blend of two.
Yeah, what
I'm
going to
go back because
Okay.
I'm going to have to put this Colombian in there.
Yeah, you have to.
God.
Gee, it's good.
How good is it?
Oh, it's.
You offered to make me one.
I did, and I'll tell you what, you should have had it because it was
should have.
magnificent.
Damn it.
So go and meet Pete and the team. They are beautiful people.
Great
Lucy and
people.
Sally there. Find your ideal grind and upgrade from coffee made with love to coffee made with passion.
And that's a big jump, and it's their jump. Simply Coffee, a cellar door for coffee lovers. Visit their Countdown store or order online. You can do this, simplycoffee.com.au.
You know, it makes sense to pre-plan a funeral, but it's not easy to get enthusiastic about planning your departure from this mortal coil. Pre-arranging and prepaying a funeral gives you time to think, plan and ensure peace of mind for yourself, family and friends. The Alfred James Prepaid Funeral Plan enables arrangements to be made and kept on file for future reference at the time of need. Alfred James Pre-Plan Funerals, honouring lives in extraordinary ways for over 100 years.
The Barossa Valley is a great place to visit. You have history, wine, great food, nature, wine. What if you had one extra draw card? Your parents. Retirement units are available in safe and connected neighbourhood clusters just an hour from the city. We're talking about newly renovated 1, 2 and 3 bedroom homes from around 180k to 300k. They get the vine change and you get another reason to visit the Barossa. Win-win. Talk to your parents today about Barossa Village. Find out more at barossavillage.org.
I'm Ned, and I'm a geek. I'm no good at voiceovers, but amazing at fixing your tech problems. All Geeks to You techies work on any device and give great advice. For in-person or remote tech support, go to geeks2u.com.au. That's the number 2, the letter U.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
21 minutes after 4, plenty to come. We want your calls, 8223 0000. Great sporting chokes. We'd love to hear them. We're playing South Africa in the Cricket World Cup semi-final, and they are the perennial chokers in World Cups. Can we see it again on Thursday? We'll find out. Peter Malinauskas in a moment. First, your traffic.
At Linden Park, twisted traffic light on Porterice Road near Greenhill Road. Jeps Cross, a breakdown on Grand Junction Road near Main North Road. And in the Parklands, Wakefield Street is closed near East Terrace in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. Slow at the moment, South Road at Theberton, quite busy Brighton Road, Acklenall East, with the cameras at Babacombe Drive, Moana, and Blacktop Road at Gould Creek. Look for the RAA side at over 400 independent RAA approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Well, Rowey, I call him the can-do man. The Premier, Peter Malinauskas. He's he's not only got Gather Round back here and up and about, but we got Live Golf again, UT, and we'll talk to him about both. Hello, Premier, how are you?
G'day, Timmy. G'day, Roy.
Hey, mate, I love the can-do attitude, and we've got Gather Round, we know, for 4 years. This is year 2, and there's been a few little tweaks to it, which I don't mind. 5 games Adelaide Oval, 2 Norwood, 2 at Mount Barker. For you, what would an ultimate Gather Round look like?
As you gents know, I'm pretty keen on a iconic game of footy in the Barossa, where we can showcase the vineyards, and McLaren Vale as well could be an option, but we're really keen on the Barossa, and that's going to happen in 2025. We just couldn't get a ground upgraded in time for 2024.
Yep.
So that's something to look forward to. But we think putting back the Norwood Food and Wine Festival on the Sunday with the big Richmond St Kilda clash at the parade, I think could be quite unique and something special, which is one of the little tweaks that we've made, along with a few others in the draw as well.
And is there a thought in the future that perhaps a venue like, say, Glenelg or Unley, that a similar thing could be done?
Absolutely. That is a possibility. So, look, the parade worked really well last year. So did Mount Barker. We've given Mount Barker an extra game.
Yep.
So that means one less game in Adelaide Oval. So that is a bit of a downside because obviously Adelaide Oval's got a lot more capacity. But last year Mount Barker did it really well, and they did it on the worst weather that we had across that weekend. So hopefully with a bit of good weather and across 2 days, that'll be more visitation to the Adelaide Hills. So Sydney West Coast up at Mount Barker on the Saturday, and then in the hills we've got GWS Gold Coast on the Sunday. But then the other change is what we're doing at the parade. But the AFL have such specific requirements around, particularly if you talk about night games, around lighting. There's not too many other grounds in the state that meet the lighting standard for AFL games. Do you remember the blackouts they've had in the past with lights and so forth? Lights going down, I think, did it happen in Darwin and a few other games?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Did.
Yeah, they've got all these strict requirements around transformers and backup generation and what have you. So the council is actually making an investment at Norwood Oval to do that at the parade. So there are strict requirements that have to be met, and at the moment the parade gives us the best of those in the suburban context.
Fantastic. As a Premier's department, are you more if it ain't broke, don't fix it, or is it, no, hang on, we can make this better and bigger? So what could be new next year for Gather Round?
So the big one is the Food and Wine Festival at the parade. So St Kilda and Richmond, when the AFL said that was going to be their fixture, putting that at the parade, initially I thought to myself, that's going to sell out 5 times over, no problem. Certainly with Richmond. But having the Norwood Food and Wine Festival gives us a chance to, say Carlton playing on the Saturday. I think Geelong and Western Bulldogs are playing on Saturday night as well. All those fans, they will stay Saturday night. They'll be in Adelaide on Sunday morning. Give them something to go to experience something a bit different, where we showcase South Australian food and wine. So we think that's a big opportunity. The traders on the parade are up for it. The council's up for it. To their credit, they're kicking in $300,000 to help make that happen. So we think there's an opportunity there to showcase the same. So just picture this, gents. The AFL's got a requirement to have a game going live into Melbourne on Channel 7 in the lead up to the news on Sunday.
Yep.
So that'll be the St Kilda Richmond game. So hopefully, at half time and pre and post the game, there'll be crosses out onto the parade, and the rest of the country can see South Australians and fans enjoying themselves on the parade with a bit of live music and good South Australian food and wine. So it's about showcasing the state to the eastern states on television as well, which is something we're pretty keen on.
We interviewed Eddie Maguire the other day, and he said to us he wants Gather Round permanently in Adelaide. What's the the reality of that?
There you go.
Well, it won't surprise you. This is something I'm in furious agreement with Eddie on.
Oh, stop it. Of course you are.
Furious agreement. I think I got to give credit to Eddie. I don't always agree with him, and he's bang on here. Look, the plan was this, and your listeners might remember, this was going, when the AFL was cooking up Gather Round, it was going to Sydney. And we intervened and made an argument and said, listen, if you go to Sydney in year one, you're going to have, 500 people on a good day watching, Freo play Brisbane. Whereas in Adelaide, you'll get a good crowd. Let us do the first year, otherwise it doesn't work. And there's a longer story than this, but it was a fair bit of argy-bargy between us and the AFL, and eventually they relented and said, okay, you can have year one. And my plan, the thinking was, if we get year one and we do it well, then we'll be able to lock in years 2 and 3, and we managed to get year 4 in there as well. So our task is to make it as hard as possible for the AFL to take it away from us. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Yes. Yeah.
So we've got to hold it, invest in it, demonstrate there's nowhere else in the country that can do it like we can. And I think our size gives us that, and geographic location gives us that chance, and then make it impossible for them to take it away from us. So that's why we've got to continue to make the event work, provided it delivers for us economically, and it certainly did last year, and we've got to make sure the same is true next year as well.
So Easter, into Gather Round, into Anzac Day, to Live Golf from the 26th, the award-winning Live Golf at Grange. What dates were your options, and you're happy it landed here?
Look, honestly, we were keen on 2 different possibilities. There is an attraction to bringing the event forward. So last year it was sort of mid-April. We got really lucky with the weather, and it was just you couldn't have scripted it. You couldn't have scripted it better. Bringing it forward does give you a bit more confidence around what the situation will be weather-wise. The alternative was putting it in the slot that it now is, where you've got the Anzac Day long week. Well, Anzac Day's on the Thursday.
Yes.
I suspect, gents, that there'll be half the country will try and take Friday off if people have got annual leave and they've got access to do that.
Yeah. Can we ask you for that?
I think 90% will ask. They just won't turn up from you.
Well, so then on the Friday, you've got the chance of people sticking around Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the 26th, 7th and 8th. So that's where we've landed, and we think that'll work well. Look, these tickets I suspect are going to sell out very quickly. So, and we're trying to increase the capacity at Grange, and that's something that Liv are committed to. So tickets go on sale the next couple of weeks.
Oh, God.
It was an incredible event, wasn't it? I mean, some of the numbers that I've seen here in the economic report, 64.9 million in direct expenditure. Oh, wow. 43,253 visitor nights. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
It's staggering.
So the thing about Liv that made it punch above its weight in an economic context was 41% of the tickets sold were to people from outside the state.
Oh, how good.
So that's a really high number. And I think from memory it was over 10% were of those, or 10% of that 41 were from international. So I think it was 10% international, 30% interstate, and the rest were locals. So that international money and interstate money is what it's all about. So we want, and with the images that were broadcast of the golf going around the world really last time, we would hope that number would grow, but not at the expense of South Australians who want to enjoy it themselves, which is why we've got to increase the capacity.
Spot on. I had friends at Grange who said that they met all these interstate people who just said, we're going back and telling our people, you got to come, you got to get there. And that word of mouth, I think, will probably double it.
We just need a hole-in-one Friday, Saturday and Sunday at the watering hole, because we're going to do a live broadcast there for 3 days premiere. One last one. We love the Adelaide 500. The end of the month. Ticket sales, I believe, are tracking brilliantly. We'd love to pack it out Saturday with the concert at night. It'll be brilliant.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. The ticket sales are up from last year. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. I think there are 3. The first is this is going to be the season decider, which is a pretty good position for us to be in, to have the last round, so there's interest associated with that. Last year, of course, was a pretty short run-up, and the first year, and it was the first year of the LA 500 coming back. So I think there was a bit of doubt in the marketplace around is this thing real or not. The third thing we've got going for us this year is someone by the name of Robbie Williams.
Hey!
So after his performance at the AFL Grand Final last year, I think there'll be a fair bit of interest for that as well. So those things combined, ticket sales are up, which we're excited about, and hopefully it's a good weekend for all the motorsport fans across the state.
Well, Premier, Velo 500 into the Gather Round, into Live Golf. You're doing a terrific job, but look, mate, all the best with that merging of the unis as well, mate.
Oh, that's actually a big deal. We just had Hunting and Ingalls, which is a company that most South Australians wouldn't know the name of, in Adelaide this week. I just gave a speech to them earlier. We've signed a brand new agreement with them. They're the people that build the Virginia-class submarines, employ tens of thousands of people in the US on that exercise. So, but that's not indirectly linked. It's to the university amalgamation, which is all about making sure young South Australians, not just uni students, but kids getting skills, got the trades that we're going to require to build these extraordinary machines.
You're doing a brilliant job, mate. Keep it going.
Thanks, gents. Appreciate it.
Premier Peter Malinauskas, our guest. What a champion.
Excellent work. Great to see all these great things coming back to South Australia next year. More of your calls after the break. First, the headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Optus is blaming a routine software update for last week's national outage. Cabin crew at Virgin Australia are eyeing off strike action. Autism rates in Australia are among the highest in the world, double that of Canada and the UK. And in sport, Alex Rance has laughed off the idea of coming out of retirement after being unveiled as a leadership consultant with Gold Coast. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Linden Park, twisted traffic light on Port Rice Road near Greenhill Road. Jeps Cross, a breakdown on Grange Junction Road near Main North Road. And in the Parklands, Wakefield Street is closed near East Terrace in preparation for the Adelaide 500. Busy at the moment, Port River Expressway at Port Adelaide. And looking for a camera today, Sturton Road at Edinburgh. More great specials at Foodland. 125 gram punnets of Australian jumbo blueberries, $2.95 each. Ends tomorrow at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA weather, partly cloudy tonight down to 12. A morning shower or two tomorrow, 23. Right now it is 21. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
It's going to be a very familiar looking gather round for 2024. How confident are you, Premier, that the Barossa will get a match the year after next?
Informing Adelaide.
The only reason we don't have a Barossa game in 2024 isn't because the AFL didn't want it, certainly isn't because we didn't want it. It's just because meeting those standards, and there's no ground in the Barossa that meets the standards of an AFL game.
Does that game come at the expense of an Adelaide Oval game, or is Parade or Mount Barker game?
That hasn't been determined.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Breaking news at Beaumont's, Australia's newest range of hard flooring has arrived. Luxury vinyl, heavenly hybrid, stunning laminate and engineered timber. And right now, buy 5 square metres and get the next one free. For all your flooring needs, you'll be happy you chose Beaumont's.
Hi, Jerry Harvey. Optus. Kick them when they're down. Really? I thought Australians were better than that. It could happen to any company. Could be your turn next time. For what it's worth, Harvey Norman will support Optus. Yes, we will support Optus. If you think Optus is getting a raw deal, then you think like us. Need a new phone? It's an Optus deal at Harvey Norman. Tell them Jerry sent you.
Go, Harvey, go!
Now, look, some houses, well, they're forced to hide behind a fence. And you spend your weekends making it look amazing, only to have it concealed. You know what? Get yourself a Carstone fence and gate, and your beautiful home will be enhanced by the fence, so the rest of the neighbourhood can just see how proud you are of your home.
Carstone, so that's Caststone, is an SA company with a bold reputation for premium quality fences. You'll see their work on the streets of Adelaide's best postcodes.
No doubt about that, and the chances are you've probably seen some of their work already, and you'll know when you see it because it's a fine-looking heritage, traditional or modern stone pillars, those that suit solid walling, tubular steel, cast aluminium, brush fencing, or even timber slats as well.
Yeah,
they make it all.
It. Now, don't hide your home. Enhance it with Carstone. Be inspired by the gallery online at carstone.com.au.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota.
Right now, Toyota Material Handling is having a massive clear out of 2022 and 23 plated forklifts. Score great deals across a selected range of new Toyota forklifts currently in stock. Counterbalance and reach forklifts, walkie stackers and more. So if it's 22 or 23 plated, get a great Toyota forklift deal. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift. T's and C's apply. Offer ends December 31.
At the Samry Cheese Grater on North Terrace, we're celebrating 10 great years of health and medical research. Adelaide's brightest minds are researching dementia, endometriosis, spinal cord injury and cancer, to name a few. We're working hard to cure disease and save lives, and there's more for our bright minds to discover, so we'll keep searching for another 10 years. At Samry, we don't grate cheese, we do great things. Follow our research at samry.org.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes to 5. Eugene Galekovic from the Reds very soon, and Anne Hatchard from the Adelaide Crows on the back of their loss in the qualifying final. They're back up this weekend, but we want your calls. Biggest chokes in sport, 8223 0000.
So for red hot favourite to a loss, I said the 2017 Crows team. There's been a number of people that have come out and given their two bobs worth. Let's go to our callers. 8223 0000.
Hey, Russell.
G'day. Sorry, Timmy. I don't want to rub salt in the wound, but I think, and I was there, 1976, SAFL.
Yes.
Port v Sturt, when Port were red hot that year, they'd won, I think, 3 or 4 more in the Mitre round than the second place. And it all went pear-shaped. I think we kicked 8 goals 8 or something like that, and the Jumbo just did whatever he wanted.
Shook him apart.
Well, when we were talking about
Thanks,
the other day, Russ, the performance of Rick Davies was just unbelievable.
As good as any
21 kicks, 21 handballs,
Yeah.
21 hit-outs, 15 marks, kicked a goal. He was outstanding. It's funny, Port were out-and-out favourites, and they played an incredible year where I think they'd only lost the one minor round game, but beat whoever in the second semi, jumped into the final. And the story that goes with it, I spoke to Sandy Nelson, of course, who was playing in his 7th premiership by that stage, and he said to me that Jack Hardy put on the board at training, and he had their team, and he had Port Adelaide's team, and he wrote little numbers next to all the Sturt players' names, like 3, 4, 6, 5, and then against the Port's names, 0, 0, 0, and he said, why are they favourite? Why are they favourite? And the sort of team's looking at them, they only lost one minor round game. He said, there's not a premiership player in there. That's what all the zeros are. Look at all our premierships.
Wow. And it worked.
And it worked.
It
and
inspired them, didn't it?
Well done, I say. Too good.
So we're looking for your greatest sporting chokes on the back of Herschel Gibbs dropping the cup. We've got them on Thursday. This is Australia versus South Africa. They've never won a World Cup, South Africa.
Which is staggering considering how good they've been.
Hello, Ken.
Yeah, good boys. My greatest choke is the 1996 US Masters from Greg Norman.
Ken,
6 shots up into the final round.
I know.
Yeah.
Then he had bogeys on 9, 10 and 11 in the last 9, a double bogey on 12, and another double bogey on 16. And he finished with 6 over par 78, having previously shot 63, 69 and 71.
It was a meltdown, wasn't it? And
was it ever?
Nick Faldo almost... I watched the vision of that.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, and Nick Faldo ended up winning by 5 shots, and he went up to him. I reckon he was almost like... He was just shattered for Greg.
But they hate each other, don't they?
Well, they didn't have a great relationship, but it was really... And that's what made it so great, that it was like he had all this empathy, like, oh dear, I've never seen anything like it. It was, you know what they say, you can have a bad day.
Well, the other, I reckon it was last year, because Greg's now in front of Live Golf.
Correct.
And they asked Nick Faldo, what do you think of Live Golf? And he just teed off. Then he said, what do you think of Greg Norman? He said, not a bad golfer. So it's what he didn't say, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's what he didn't say.
Yeah.
Hello, Ken.
I'm still here.
Oh, we just had Ken.
We just had Ken.
I think Sam might have missed the other
Well
call.
done.
The other
Well
call's
done,
dropped
Ken.
out. Apologies.
Keep them coming in. Massive chokes. Thanks for another good tip, Mr. Jittiver.
Oh.
$10 for the win at $8.50. Keep them coming. That's Mark at Littlehampton. And yes, Row, you are the curse. Well, I don't want that to catch on.
Well, it's starting to. Mark, that would have been a tissue, which was the one in Melbourne that I gave. And great little name, but
2 from 2.
what a win.
Good. Hello, Lorraine.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
You got a word for April for us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I was going to call it Active April, or it could be Alive with April.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
April's alive, Lorraine.
Yeah.
I like it. Lorraine, you're good.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. April's alive. Adelaide.
So we've got
Adelaide,
Gather Round
April alive.
into Live.
I'm doing the voiceover.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Lorraine. We might put that through the Premier's Department we just had.
Yeah.
Our Premier
Well,
on.
we've got a direct line anyway.
April's alive.
Let's go to Anthony.
Good afternoon, boys. How are we?
Good, buddy. What do you got for us?
I've got the amazing Adelaide Test match a couple of years on 2005 or 6.
Six,
yeah.
7, yeah.
Yeah, I think England made 550 and could not possibly lose from there.
Yeah.
And in our first innings, we were 3 for, and then they dropped Ricky Ponting early. They could have had us 4 for, and he went on to make 100.
Goodness me. How good's that, Anthony? We just had a text come through, unique home-style food text. I'll read this one out. How's this? Check this out, guys, for a sporting choke. Queensland amateur cricket across the weekend. 4 runs to win in the last over. They had 6 wickets in hand, 6 balls to face. And a rooster called, here he is, Gareth Morgan, got a 6 for. Got all 6 out.
6 wickets. 6 wickets and 6 balls.
That's a choke.
Oh, we've got to find him.
We got to get him.
We've got to
And
find
he
him.
reckons the team said you'll never have to pay for a beer again.
Yeah.
6 balls, 6 wickets.
Won the game.
That is unbelievable.
That's a big choke job. It's similar in cricket as well. You would remember back in the Big Bash, back in the probably the middle years, probably the back end of the 2017, 18, 19 sort of era. And the Melbourne Stars were playing the Melbourne Renegades at Etihad Stadium.
They were the Invincibles and Stars, weren't they?
53 runs needed off the last 48 balls, all 10 wickets in hand.
Oh, God.
7 for 19, and couldn't get the target, and the Renegades won. The Stars choked it up so hard.
What will add some sting to this is, when they were none for 90-something, Eddie Maguire's got on the phone to the casino organising the...
Because he was the president
He was
of
the chairman.
Melbourne.
And he started organising the event to celebrate.
No.
That is horrendous. I hope he didn't pay a deposit. I hope he didn't pay a deposit. That's a stinger.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's called a cricket god.
Oh, mate, that's unreal.
Although Jack Rewalt organised to sing that song after 2017.
I was surprised when we interviewed him because remember I asked, was it how much was it spontaneous, how much was it planned, and he gave us the whole thing. It was planned.
He planned it. Hello, Steve at Port Noarlunga.
G'day, how you going? I just heard you talking about the guy who took all the wickets.
Yeah.
So cricket buff, how many hat tricks did he take in that over?
Oh, it'd be only. Don't they call the 4th wicket a hat trick as well?
Double hat trick. That means if you take 5 in a row, is that a triple hat trick? And then if you take 6 in a row, what's that?
I reckon you've got the answer, Steve. What is it?
Yeah, well, it is. It's 4 because
it's
3 is
4.
a hat trick.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6 is 4 hat tricks.
Wow,
that's amazing.
So he's quadruple hat trick.
Steve, thank you, mate. You've taught me.
I reckon.
something there.
I reckon Steve's been a scorer in his time.
He has. He's been writing that
Which
all
is
down.
a tough job.
Good a touch of the Laurie Collivers. The
Let's
old
go
Lozzers.
to Wayne at Modbury North. G'day, Wayne.
G'day, Timmy. How you going,
Good,
buddy?
Good.
Greatest choke.
Yeah.
Sonny Liston versus Cassius Clay.
Oh, was that
the very first fight? Lasted half a round.
Yeah, was it a? Yeah. What do you think of that one, mate?
I think he took a dive.
Yeah, so do I.
There you are. That's our segment tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who's taking the biggest dive?
He got more money taking a dive than he would have if he had a one.
Yeah, I watched this, and I reckon it might be on Netflix, Wayne. I watched this documentary on his life. And
Sonny Liston or LA?
Yeah, Sonny.
Yeah.
And Sonny has...
He's
what
had a
would
few
you say?
problems,
He
hasn't
had
he?
a colourful background where he met with a lot of colourful people, and it sort of read. It read like the payday was bigger than going the 15 rounds.
He didn't lay straight in bed.
Didn't sound like
No.
it. Slept in a trumpet.
14 minutes to 5. Anne Hatchard to join us next. Let's check your traffic.
At Beverley, a crash at Grange Road near Crittenden Road. Flagstaff Hill, a breakdown, Flagstaff Road near Main South Road, and Jeps Cross, a breakdown on Grand Junction Road near Main North Road. Sluggish through the Parklands at the moment. Parts of Wakefield Street closed near East Terrace, just in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. And got a camera to look out for 2 Halsey Road at Elizabeth East. Hurry into Bunnings and grab yourself a saving. They've got a range of items in the tool shop that have been dropped to clear. Shop great value across their tool shop, online or at your local Bunnings. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
Those summer nights. You go outside, the family's asleep, crickets chirp, and all is good. The stars shine down, and Pool's asleep, snuggled under a Walco blankie. She's warm, not evaporating, and you're warm in your heart because you're saving bucks. This feeling, it's called Walco. Walco pool blankies, liners and rollers, making a real splash in SA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
Now, if your aged carer provider isn't right for you, well, it's worth fixing. Now, that might sound like a daunting task, but really all you have to do is ask ECH. Now, with ECH support, you can switch without a hassle.
ECH understands that life can be unpredictable and circumstances do change. The support you needed yesterday might be different to the support you need tomorrow. That just makes sense.
And these guys are very good at it. So ECH will figure out what you want and need out of a home care package, and they'll also guide you to a package that's perfect for you. So just ask, well, just as they have with many other satisfied South Aussies, just get onto ECH.
Okay. Now, to learn more, make sure you listen to the 5AA Interactive Lounge tomorrow afternoon with Anja McBride. Anja.
That's her.
Doing a great job.
Yeah.
What? The ECH Chief Executive, Claire Scapinello. So you can visit this, ech.asn.au.
Not all of us are lucky enough to call the hills home. We enjoy space, we seek change, we choose to discover what is on the road less travelled. And when you turn off the freeway to Bridgewater, you'll discover the home of Nissan in the hills. Adelaide Hills Nissan has the full Nissan range right here, from the Qashqai to the Navara and everything in between. Take the road less travelled to Nissan's home in the hills. Adelaide Hills Nissan, since 1954. Mount Barker Road, Bridgewater, LMVD 325189.
The perfect time to get your evaporative air conditioner serviced is now. Give Ken a call. We clean the filter pads, check the water levels, and make sure your evaporative air conditioner is ready for those hot summer days. Ken Hall Plumbers, 8364 5855.
Folks travel far and wide to meet Trev from Rollerco.
G'day, is Trev around? Oh, sorry, mate, he's with a customer right now.
Trev's always eager to please. Just pat him on the belly and he'll do anything for you. Oh yes, Trev said you can order your sliding door or window parts online and he'll organise delivery to your door. Rollerco.com.au. They'll get you rolling. No, I'm not patting you on the belly. Oh, all right.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
10 minutes to 5.
Well, my Mighty Crows lost their home qualifier by 2 points to the Lions at Nord on the weekend. Joining us is All-Australian and Premiership star Anne Hatchard. Anne, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
As always, we had a crack, but just in the end just let ourselves down.
Yeah, was unfortunate with the result. I thought that we came out and gave a good crack, but yeah, just couldn't get over the line at the end, which is quite disappointing.
What is it with these Lions? They seem to have the wood on us, Brisbane.
Literally, I don't know what was going on with them, but they're just seeming to getting it done lately. So they managed to get over the Demons and now us again. So hopefully we can meet them again in the grand final and snag it from them.
Well, you're still alive, and that's the main thing. You can redeem. Hey, the game itself, you had plenty of the football. I mean, you had a plus 64 count in possession, so it wasn't as if you couldn't get the footy. It was probably just maybe a little wasteful at times.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I think, we had control of most of the game, but, we just couldn't finish. And, the Lions just had their few chances and managed to convert on those. So, just bit too disappointing that we couldn't come away with the win, but be very lucky to have another chance this week.
What was the coach Doc Clark's assessment of it all?
Yeah, so he thought, obviously we'd played pretty well, but we just couldn't convert. So I think, it's just about this week just learning from those mistakes. And if we are up with a few minutes to go in a game, how do we kind of hold on to that and win?
Eloise Jones, we need two of her, and one at each end.
She's an absolute superstar. Up forward, back, even on the wing. So it would be nice to have a few more EJs around on the field.
Beautiful. Did resting the players for the Eagles game, I know we had 6 ins, one came back from suspension and all of that. I love continuity. I don't like flirting with my form. And a lot of them were probably injured and really did need a rest. Was that discussed? I mean, 6 is a massive change.
Yeah, it's a huge amount to change, but there were quite a few bodies that needed a rest. I was definitely one of them that needed that rest, so that worked wonders for me and a few of the other girls as well. So, it was just the perfect time for some bodies to get a rest, and
you've had another remarkable year, Anne. It's just like shelling beans for you. Well, not beans, it's peas, isn't it? Yes, wrong one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anne, I got my greens.
Peas and beans go together.
I got my beans and peas before the freak and all sorts there. You've had another remarkable year, Anne. Let's start again.
Yeah, it's been not too bad. I just like to bring consistent footy each year, and just work on things to get better and better. So hopefully can keep bringing that consistent footy into the finals.
There was still a moment in the game where Brisbane looked to have cleared it, and they're running down the wing. And Ruby Svark, I think it's pronounced, she left it behind, and you guys got it back to Yvonne Bonner, and it was a huge kick. She nearly made the distance, but it was just rushed through it on the line. You never stopped giving in. You just kept at it, didn't you?
No, we just keep going, and that's what we love to do. No matter what situation we're in, we just keep going hard. So, unfortunately we couldn't get the result this weekend, but we'll keep bringing that footy into our next few games.
Yeah, you got to lift the heads back on the horse, so to speak. You got Sydney now. This is almost a complete unknown. You've never played Sydney. You've got them here, Norwood Oval, 7:15 Saturday night. It's a different one to prepare for.
Yeah, it's really odd having never played them, and now suddenly we're meeting them in the final. So it'll be a really interesting one. But no, we'll be keen to get out at Norwood under the lights, and have a good crack at Sydney for the first time.
Yeah. No injuries from the game. We're all healthy.
No, we're all looking good. So, it'll be another hard week for the coaches heading to the selection.
I know.
Fair enough. Hey, and just on a side note, I've read somewhere that you're going to be doing a marathon, and it's going to be over in Louisiana. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. So, I'll be doing a marathon. It's always been on the bucket list. So, finally put it in the diary, and I'll be doing it and raising some funds for mental health of children.
Good on you.
That's awesome. Is it called Open Parachute? Is that right?
Yeah, so that's the program we currently run at the club, so I'm lucky enough to be an ambassador for that, so I actually get to go out to schools and run this program and try and help kids and get them aware about mental health and whatnot. So, it's something that's really close to my heart, so I'm really excited to do this marathon.
Well done, but the choice of Louisiana, that's what I'm trying to sort of understand. Is that your choice, or was that where you were told to go?
No, so I have planned with my wife to go over to the States for a trip, and we're looking up marathons that we're on at the moment, and then the one popped up there, so we're like, we'll lock that one in.
Oh, good thinking.
That's down south, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, New Orleans. You get down there and have a good old time.
Oh, yeah.
Get to Bourbon Street, my friend. Straight away after the run.
Well, Anne, I've read a number of marathons in my day. I know I don't look it. If you need a training program or you need any assistance...
see someone else.
Yeah. Good on you, Anne. God, I hooked myself up for that, didn't I? Hey, all the best. Sydney, Norwood Oval, Saturday night. Win, it's a prelim. Lose, it's curtains. I think we'll win that one. Anne, thanks for your time.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great work. Anne Hatchard there has had another remarkable year. We're close, yet no cigar.
Yeah, but what? A chance again. And imagine
Correct.
getting in the prelim the other side of the draw.
There you go. And then we'll play them in the grand final.
Yeah, let's hope so anyway. That's coming up Nord on Saturday night.
Couple of unique homestyle food text on chokes. What about this choke on the weekend? Ange's Tottenham were leading 1-0 in the 91st minute, lost 2-1. That is a choke. Okay. How's this one? I do remember this. Kiwis America's Cup winning. They were 6 up. And it's first to 7 wins.
I can't believe this.
The plane was on the tarmac. They're ready to come back. They had the celebrations. Eddie Maguire rung. They booked the whole of the Wellington thing out. They lost the next 7 races to lose 7-6. Half our crew, or half of our good Aussie crew members were in the US team. I don't know how that works.
How does that work?
The skipper, the
don't like
navigator, the grinders and all of that. Regards, Tim. Thanks, Tim. Oh, God, you lost 7 straight.
That's
a choke.
That's horrendous chokes, no doubt about that.
That's horrendous.
That one, you would be tightening up with every loss, wouldn't you? Just getting tighter and tighter and
They're building belief at the same time.
Correct.
8223 0000. Keep your submissions coming in. Great sporting chokes. 3 minutes to 5. Eugene Galekovic from Adelaide United next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sport Show.
Sorry, I'm in a rush. These started defrosting on the bus.
Aldi's frozen lobster tails with garlic butter glaze are only $34.99 per 2-pack. Go big on the little things with Aldi. Good, different.
In tough times, it's the simple things that make a big difference. Like $17 schnitzel days at Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. We know the humble schnitty can't fix all our problems, but we do know it'll put a smile on your dial. $17 schnitties Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. Making the world a better place. One schnitty at a time. Gotta start somewhere. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Goodness me, moving's a headache, especially when you're Adelaide's best destination for RV parts and accessories.
Yeah, well, that's why when all RV parts and accessories moves their store, they don't want to take anything with them. So, what's that mean? That means great news, because if you're a caravaner or an outdoor enthusiast, you're going to get some bargains.
So hurry in to take advantage of the moving clearance sale, a massive 50% off everything in store and on display, no exceptions.
Yeah, when they say everything, they mean it. Now, we're talking office gear, workshop, plants and equipment, even shelving. Half price, my friend.
No, stop
Half price.
Now, it's all got to go at all RV parts and accessories, moving clearance sale, this Thursday to Saturday at all RV parts and accessories is 108 Dawes Road, Melrose Park. For more info, visit allrv.com.au.
Hi, Jerry Harvey. Optus. Kick them when they're down. Really? I thought Australians were better than that. It could happen to any company. Could be your turn next time. For what it's worth, Harvey Norman will support Optus. Yes, we will support Optus. If you think Optus is getting a raw deal, then you think like us. Need a new phone? It's an Optus deal at Harvey Norman. Tell them Jerry sent you.
Go, Harvey, go!
So what were you saying about battery-powered garden tools over petrol ones?
They're often lighter, less noisy, and some battery-powered tools give the petrol ones a run for their money now.
Oh, and Stamford's got battery-powered mowers.
Heaps. And trimmers, blowers.
So why haven't you replaced the old petrol ones?
I'd never remember to charge them. What's that?
This? Oh, just a little battery rotation chart I made. What colours do they come in?
You're the best, hon.
Stanford Mowers, 590 Main North Road, Jepps Cross. stanfordmowers.com.au.
If you're building a home, the Selector Homes Display Village is a great place to start. Your ideas and imagination will flow. There's nothing else quite like it in Adelaide. Different homes for different lifestyles, all in the one location. Walk through the sanctuary. It's simply stunning, with an incredible Jarrah facade, polished concrete floors and a sensational use of space. Explore the Selector Homes and Building Solutions Display Village, Port Wakefield Road, Burton. Visit selectorhomes.com.au.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a morning shower or two tomorrow, 23. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Chipped windscreen? Complete Windscreens repair it on the spot. $99. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
The 8th COVID wave to hit SA is making its presence felt. Mask wearing is now mandatory in clinical settings at the Lowell McEwen and Modbury hospitals. Vulnerable people are being urged to get a COVID booster. Professor Nicola Spurrier says elderly South Australians need to be proactive.
If people in that age group have a rapid antigen test and it's positive, there's no need to do a PCR. Just get to your GP, get on the phone and get your oral antiviral script, because the earlier you can get on and take the tablets, the better.
Optus has revealed what caused that massive outage last week, which cut phone and internet services to millions of customers. The telco says an issue during a routine software upgrade caused its key routers to disconnect from the network. Staff then had to be dispatched to a number of sites across the country to manually reboot them. The Coalition is being accused of persisting with robo-debt when it was in government, despite being aware of problems with the scheme. More than 400,000 people were wrongly sent computer-generated debt notices. A royal commission into the fiasco has made 56 recommendations, which the federal government has agreed to accept. Attorney General Mark Dreyfus says robo-debt should never have happened.
The Liberal Party's robo-debt scheme was not an innocent mistake. This was a deliberate, calculated scheme. The Royal Commission found that robo-debt was a crude and cruel mechanism, neither fair nor legal, and it made many people feel like criminals.
Another bank has recorded a sizable profit. The ANZ has reported an annual cash profit of $7.4 billion, up 14% on the previous year. But it actually fell short of market expectations, which were forecasting a profit of around $7.6 billion. Australia's migration laws may be strengthened once the High Court releases its judgment on asylum seekers. The court has ruled it's unlawful to keep people in indefinite detention. 80 asylum seekers have now been released into the community, including a rapist and murderer. Immigration Minister Andrew Giles telling Parliament they're under strict supervision.
Now, we have been required to release people almost instantly. That is the decision of the court. But we continue to consider all measures that may be available to strengthen our protection of the community. And I note, of course, that we are yet to have the reasons for the court's decision.
A special stamp collection honouring King Charles is being released by Australia Post ahead of his 75th birthday. The first in the set of 3 captures a young Prince Charles arriving in Sydney in 1966. The second shows him seated at his desk in 2018. The third is his official coronation portrait. Now turning to 5AA sport in the AFLW, the Crows play Sydney in a semi-final at Norwood on Saturday night. Adelaide fell 2 points short against Brisbane on the weekend, and Hatchard has told Rowey and Timmy G they have a few areas they need to work on.
We just couldn't convert, so I think, it's just about this week just learning from those mistakes, and if we are up with a few minutes to go in a game, how do we kind of hold on to that and win?
AFL pre-season training officially started today for several clubs, including Geelong, Richmond and North Melbourne. First to fourth year players returned from their break, with some veterans also hitting the track. Former GWS coach Leon Cameron has replaced Charlie Gardner as the Sydney Swans head of football. Gardner is returning to Melbourne, but will remain with the club in legal compliance and commercial projects role. Another major event on the local calendar is fast approaching. The 500 starts November 23. Premier Peter Malinauskas says the stage is set for an even bigger event in 2023.
Tickets are up from last year. This is going to be the season decider, which is a pretty good position for us to be in to have the last round, so there's interest associated with that.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Crash to look out for at Beverley, Grange Road near Crittenden Road. Mawson Lakes, a breakdown, Main North Road near Montague Road. And at Flagstaff Hill, another breakdown, Flagstaff Road near Main South Road. In the Parklands, Wakefield Street closed near East Terrace. That's just in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. Pretty slow at the moment. Tapley's Hill Road at Glenelg North with a camera today. Kangarilla Road at Kangarilla. Receive the free bar screening test kit. Don't put it off. If you're aged between 50 and 74, take the kit to the bathroom and get to it. It's the free test that could save your life. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, down to 12. A morning shower or two tomorrow, 23. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 23. Thursday, much the same, and 22. Right now, it is 20 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglas. Tonight, SA's new COVID wave. The advice from health authorities, plus where mask mandates have just been reintroduced. The free website, making it easier for you to buy a new car in SA. The savings accounts paying out interest higher than inflation. Plus, home internet price rises loom. The experts on the best value, safest and most reliable plans. See the full story live on 9 News at 6 p.m. and on 9 Now.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
6 after 5 on this Monday. Coming up on the show this hour, more of your calls, 8223 0000. We're talking great sporting chokes. Lots of submissions coming in the last hour. We'll keep them up in the next. Simon Westwood's the acting mayor of Mount Barker, and James Fantasia is the CEO of the Norwood Footy Club. They'll both be joining us at 5:30 as well to talk through Gather Round, which is back in 2024 as well, and heading out to the regions.
Yeah, well, Saturday night, Adelaide United took on Sydney FC, who hadn't won a game. They hadn't scored in 3 appearances. They removed their manager, changed managers, which we know can always be a little bit of a danger sign. But they came out and played some unbelievable football to defeat the Reds 5-1. We've got, Adelaide United assistant coach Eugene Galakovic on the line. And Eugene, thanks for fronting up, mate, after what was a bit of a rough night, mate. How can you describe that one for us?
Yeah, how are you guys? It was disappointing. We had a good start to the season with 2 wins and a draw, and playing another home game, against a big team, Sydney FC. It was another good test, but we're disappointing from the start. We didn't start well. They scored a couple of goals early. We expected them to start well. They obviously sacked their coach and brought in a new coach, and we knew their boys would be fired up. But we didn't handle it, and they got on the score sheet early, and pretty much won the game in the first half.
And I imagine as a coaching group, you go through all of that, and you tell them about the response that you get from a new manager and the like, and you probably give them all the warning signs, but then you watch it play out in front of your eyes and you go, gee whiz, that's frustrating.
Yeah, we didn't handle it. We knew they were going to come out and press us. And our instructions were try to play over the top a little bit in the first 15 minutes of the game, try to turn them around, and then we'll play our football from there. But it just never eventuated, and their press was really good. We couldn't handle it. And in the end, they got some score involvements from it and scored some goals, and we're on the back foot from there.
Huge, I need to publicly apologise. I went Saturday as guest of United. I was full of confidence. I was excited. The season was so good. We were 5-0 down early into the second half. Timmy called me the curse, and I think I am. I think I may need to stay away, Huge.
No, don't do that. I'm pretty sure the boys will put on a show for you next time, so
they will.
Come and support it. It's all good.
What in God's name, has Joe Lolly ever played that well before?
He's a good player. Maybe, on the weekend was one of his best games, but we knew he was a good player. We knew his strengths in coming inside and liking to come inside and shoot, and we knew that was going to happen, and it still happened, and he, he scored some goals and got an assist as well. And we just couldn't handle it. Hopefully it's just a one-off, and, we were back on in the following week after the break because it wasn't good enough.
Clean sheet, 1-1, season flying. Joe Gauci named in the Socceroos team. To you and everybody that's helped you, but personally it's just fantastic. He is the best keeper in Australia. He will never, ever, ever let 5 through the onion net again, Huge. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, that's what he said straight after the game. It's the first time he's conceded so many, especially at home, and he was disappointed. But like you said, credit to him. He's worked hard over the last few years, and he deserves to be where he is with the national team. And hopefully, he's in and around that team from now on and get some game time. He's a young goalkeeper still. So he's got plenty of time, but he's just got to keep his head down and keep working, and those opportunities will definitely come more often if he does work at it.
And Huge, the squad has got so many teenagers in it. Were you sort of pre-season expecting some ups and downs with this group?
Yeah, that's what you get with having a young team. In saying that, you kind of expect it, but after a great start, expectations, straight away.
They went straight through the roof.
Yeah, so you do expect it because there's so many in the starting 11, and you only need one or two to be off on the day, and things can, I wouldn't say go bad, but you can make mistakes, and you expect it to make more mistakes when you're younger than when you're experienced, and we just got to expect that. But our aim as coaches is try to improve that and get us playing at a consistent level each week, even with a younger squad, because these young kids are really good footballers, and we just need to give them that time to keep progressing.
Yeah, I think with the 2 early goals, they almost got a bit unnerved, and I've not probably seen us so unstructured at times.
Yeah, and it's definitely not. We don't want to put everything on the young boys because we've got experienced boys to lead them on the pitch as well. So it's a collective, and when there is a lot of young boys playing, it's up to the senior boys to guide them on the pitch as well and help them. And hopefully next game we're more prepared. We'll have a few players back as well, so that'll help. And we just got to be ready and switched on, because in this league you don't turn up, you're not going to get a result. It's very close, and you have to rock up every week to perform to get results.
Carl Viet bristled when the press post-match asked about Nestori Irankunda. I know he's 17. I know he's a gun. He's going to be anything, and let's hope he is, and he's well nurtured at Adelaide United. But I was sitting up there. We did miss him, Huge.
Yeah, it's what we talked about before, about expectation. He had a few good games last year off the bench. He started off this season, scored a few goals and a few nice goals, and everyone expects him to now come and do that every week. So we just got to remember he's a 17-year-old kid, and he's going to have these ups and downs as well, just like any other kid. And you saw that last week at the end of the game with a bit of frustration. So, we'd like to rely on him a lot because he's such a good young player for his age. But, like I said, it's a collective, and we need everyone to chip in as well and to help him out and take the load off him, because, everyone's already talking about him and stuff like that. So, it's a collective, and we've all got to pitch in when we can.
Okay. Pick one of these three, Huge. Has it dented pride, this loss? Is it a shot over the bow? Or is it a kick in the guts we needed?
I think it's a kick in the guts that we needed. I think, when you win a few games early on, especially with a young squad, your expectations are a lot more, and these kids, sometimes you kind of need that to say, okay, we need to work each day harder and harder, and each game harder and harder to get results, which is not going to come. And hopefully, that a lot of the players see it that way, that, it's the hard work that's going to get us results in the end. And I'm not saying they haven't put in the hard work, because it's definitely a good group and definitely working hard. But the moment you're off, results will go the other way. So we just need to be switched on every single moment of the game.
Rowey mentioned about Carl being a bit prickly at the presser. What was he like behind closed doors?
Oh, God.
Yeah, disappointed like everyone else. I think, coaches, the players, the fans are all in that same boat. After that performance, there's nothing more than disappointment, and it would have been great to play this weekend, get that, forget about this game and play this weekend, but we've got to wait another week, so we've got a lot of time to prepare for the next game, which might be good in hindsight.
Well, I was going to say, you get this international break that's happening. How will you use it? Do you give them time off? Do you bring them in and train them extra, or what do you do?
No, we'll train normal. We'll train all week and give the boys the weekend off. But this week probably be tougher than normal, and then we go into next week. Back like it's games are week to week, and we'll prepare next week for Western United.
I know it's only a small sample size, 4 games, but it seems very tight this year. I know you're not going to get any trends of people or teams that are terribly way out in front. We thought it was us guys, but it goes all well to know that, there's nothing between winning and losing, maybe even just attitude or a bit of luck, huge. But it's going to be a tight season.
Yeah, it will be. Like you said, I think the first 5 teams on the table, 7 or 8 points, and then you got some big clubs that are down the bottom. In Central Coast, who won it last year, CSC down there, Melbourne City. So these big clubs are going to go on a bit of a run. So, it's made for a good season. But in saying that, it's only 4 games in and, a lot more to play out. So, this league's always very close. You either make the finals just or you miss out just. So it's always good to get results when the game's in the balance.
Huge. Have you had to raise your voice yet? You're one of God's gentlemen. You just, understated and you get the job done. How are you enjoying coaching?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it more and more. I don't really raise my voice, I don't think.
I knew you didn't.
Maybe as a player a little bit more. But as a coach, I enjoy it. I obviously look after the goalkeepers, which is really enjoyable. It's only 4 boys that I have to really, care too much about, and they're a great bunch as well. The playing group's a great bunch, and the coaching staff as well. So it's really enjoyable at the moment.
Okay, how good can he be, Smoking Joe?
Yeah, no, very good. I think his improvement, since he's come to the club. He's grown in confidence, but there's no ceiling on where he can get to. I think, he'll be at Adelaide United for a little bit, and then he'll make the next step when he thinks the time's right overseas, hopefully, and kind of progress from there. But very good goalkeeper, and like I said, there's no ceiling. Hopefully, he can get to the very top.
He's a great lad. Huge thanks for that. Our next game, Western United, we've got the week off, 26th of November. We'll fight back and bounce back, mate. Huge, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, guys. Cheers.
Great, well done. How good a hands is Joe Gauchi in Huge?
Oh, absolutely
Former
fantastic.
Socceroo. Great
Got to
man.
be happy with that, yeah. And gee whiz, what a keeper for us for so long.
I know. He needs to
Outstanding.
learn
And
to
a
raise
skipper.
his voice. You got to. I say it every now and then to the kids. You got to get cold baked beans out the can. You ever eaten cold baked beans out the can?
I have.
Yeah, not good.
No, I prefer them warm,
Sometimes.
heated up.
Well,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No one likes cold baked beans out the can,
No.
and every now and then.
Do you reckon that's a spray, do you?
Well, no, it's a term for a spray.
Yeah.
So back in my day, it was a cauliflower ear. It was a
Yeah.
backhander, straight across the back of the head. You can't do that now.
No, so Barmy would do that, do you?
Well, no, I don't think he's ever lifted. I think he's lifted his hand at me. I don't think he's actually followed through. My dad's lifted his hand at me and has followed through. That's why I'm deaf in one ear, mate.
You were born with that.
Because I got to hit
with that.
with a
Born with
backhander.
that, mate.
I got to hit the right ear all the time. Donk!
They went to smack you to make you cry and hit you in the head.
Oh, stop it.
18 after 5. We'll check your traffic and get your calls next.
Afternoon, a breakdown at Mawson Lakes causing really solid delays for the drive home. Main North Road near Montague Road. Linden Park, twisted traffic light to look out for. Port Race Road near Green Hill Road and slow going through the parklands at the moment. Parts of Wakefield Street closed. Now East Terrace in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. You'll find cameras today, Horsey Road, Elizabeth East and Main South Road, Adaldinga. Get your GYG approved crispy chicken tender taco. Free range Lilydale chicken breast tender, lettuce, cheese and a drizzle of chipotle mayo only at Guzmani Gomez. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This Thursday, join Angie McBride for the Mental Health Spotlight in partnership with Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation. Breakthrough is Australia's only foundation solely dedicated to life-changing mental health research, and the Spotlight explores different mental health issues impacting our community. This week, we'll wrap up our year of powerful conversations and talk peer-to-peer support for young women. So listen in this Thursday at 2:30 for an enlightening discussion as part of the Mental Health Spotlight with Angie McBride, supported by Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation.
Thinking about a solar battery? Don't wait. Connect with NRG Solar and bring home a solar battery with a rock-solid 10-year warranty. Use the energy you generate during the day to store some for later, reducing reliance on energy providers and putting money back in your pocket. Experience blackout protection that'll save you thousands, all at your fingertips through a user-friendly app. Embrace 24/7 solar today. Visit nrgsolar.com.au. That's nrgsolar.com.au.
Shop great value gifting this Christmas at Coles. Like half-price Cadbury chocolate-covered fruit or nut, $1.90 to 340-gram jars, now just $5 each. It's the perfect stocking stuffer. That's great value, hands down, at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
Now, you could be walking along and you've got a builder that you probably want to get, some help from, and they come looking at your block of land and they go, it's a sloping block. Oh, no, too hard. Go and get a flat block. Well, you know what? No, because that could cost you more money. When Beechwood Homes see a sloping block, well, they can just see the amazing possibilities.
Incredible possibilities, they do. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in them because there's a thing called pinning, underpinning,
correct?
Strip flooring, all that sort of stuff. I've lived it. I have actually lived it. The team at Beechwood will design a home that works with the land you have, taking full advantage of every damn square metre. So if you've got a sloping block, or a sloping block's the only piece of land on offer in the area that you want, go for it, dude.
Go for it.
Dudes, Beechwood, they got your back.
Yeah, because life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home, so Google Beechwood Adelaide.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blowing up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. On time, on budget, on the job.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Fancy a wine? You'll find a huge hand-picked selection at your local independent SA family liquor store, FIVEAA. Or if you fancy a beer, you'll find the very best local, imported and craft beer at FIVEAA too. But if you fancy spirits, you'll find whiskies, gins and liquors for all tastes at FIVEAA. And you'll find friendly service and advice too. Whatever you fancy, you'll find it at FIVEAA, your local independent SA family liquor stores for over 45 years.
How do you become a home hero? Easy. You fix that sliding door that's been dragging and scraping, dragging and scraping, dragging and... Well, you get it. You've been living it. Call Rollerco. Rollerco will have the parts you need and they'll tell you how to fix it too. You'll be an instant home hero. Well, in sliding doors anyway. Say goodbye to dragging and scraping sliding doors. Visit rollerco.com.au. They'll get you rolling.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 5. We'll talk Gather Round after 5:30. Great to hear that it's coming back to town in 2024 and in the shape that it is. We'll go through that very shortly. But we want to know from you the great sporting chokes of all time. 8223 0000.
Well, there's a lot. They're coming thick and fast. Lines available. Here's one. Sturt 1978 grand final. 29 points up at three-quarter time.
Yes.
Lost one game during the minor round. 14 goal, 26 they kicked.
Yeah.
Suggested bad kicking and perhaps didn't deserve the win. Question mark. Throw in a little man called Des Foster and an impotent goal umpire.
Not
and
impotent,
it brings a tear. Is that from David Pemberthy?
Yeah.
You bring up 78 and he shudders.
I think everybody's got one, but I think, Port 76 always comes up. For Sturt, it's always 78, isn't it? So it's one of those moments where you thought, that was ours, but it got away. So,
God.
don't worry.
Hello, Maxie Boy at Salisbury East.
How's it going, guys?
Good, Max.
I was just wanted to ring up and talk about the result for the Sydney and Reds game on the weekend because, it was good to see you guys down there the other day for the double header. That was good to go actually finally shake hands with you and Sammy.
When we did the show out the front. Yeah,
it was
love
good.
our Reds.
But, well, I've got a big issue at the moment, which is almost, Eugene didn't really touch on it before, but I'd like to know why we've got this real big thing with the high presses that we get. Like, every time a team plays really high press against us, obviously it puts you under pressure because, particularly if you're trying to play out the back, you got to try and get the ball over the top. You got to go make those sort of up-down runs through the mids and, try and split the defence apart. However, now I'm witnessing this. We've got 3 on the 6-yard box with the keeper. So you got 3 players going to be there. So you got less players in the outfield, leaving Sydney were just free to just, leave 4 players ready to just play intercept roles. and then, you're not going to get a ball forward like that. And then you concede a few early goals because obviously they were ready and firing. But all Sydney did was just execute a lot better with the same tactics that Victory had put against us at Amy Park. The only difference with Victory is, most of the shots were hitting people showing, look at my boat, I want to get on boat sales outside the stadium, I'm really interested why we put these pressure invitations out like that, because I think we've got a bit of pace. Obviously, without Aaron Kunda there, we didn't quite have the creativity to sort of, use him, particularly since we're swapping him and Halloran around, making sure we could play both sides, because we've got Cluffy. I think he's been a lot better this year. He's been pretty good up the front, and Halloran, I think, has lifted his work rate as well, which has been pretty good. But I still think we're still lacking a bit of creation in that midfield, which I just really don't know where we go from there.
Well, they've got his Ayers they can bring in there. I think young Cassio's lad's going to get there, the one that you like. He's going to be an absolute. He's going to be an absolute gun. Max, great questions. I know you love your game. We will put that to one of the senior coaches next when we're with Carl Viet.
Oh, true. They got a week off, haven't they? Yeah. Let's go to John. G'day, John.
Oh, g'day. How are you doing?
Good, buddy.
Look, the two things. First of all, big chokes. I'm still not over 1993 Crows versus Essendon finals.
No.
42 points up at half time.
That's a choke.
Oh,
I was there.
Rowey.
That's a choke.
Yeah, couldn't. Yeah. However,
an awful smell and a choke.
Yeah, I've got to take a big exception to both of you, Rowey and Timmy.
Yeah.
Cold baked beans are the best thing ever.
No,
okay.
You flip the lid off the top, you put a spoon in. What a great snack. Why waste your time
heating them up,
putting it into a microwave? No, just take the lid off. If you want to make it a bit better, just put on a bit of toast. What a great little snack when you come in halfway through Saturday afternoon when you've been working in the garden. Get out the can of baked beans, flip the lid, cold. There you go.
So if I said to Johnny, because I was unhappy with him, with his performance in the garden, I said, mate, you're getting cold baked beans out the can.
He'd say thank you.
Say thank you.
Yeah.
Go, wow.
Thank you very much. What a little snack.
He just wasted his time, John.
Johnny's the only person in South Australia that likes cold baked beans out the can.
I got a text and said they like them as well.
But you get where I'm coming from. It's a figure of speech.
Figure of speech to say.
You know what, Jimmy? You're getting cold baked beans out the can.
In other words, please, no.
No.
Don't do that to me.
No. Hello, Grant.
G'day, Grant.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, g'day, guys. Hey, listen, man, I love baked beans and spaghetti cold out of the can. I think
Two?
Oh, great.
Spaghetti.
No, Grant. Don't do it, Grant.
That's smoked ham and...
This is ruining your theory.
Listen, a question to Rowey.
Yeah. I need a new saying.
Hey, you played under Barney.
Neil Barney.
Do you remember a good mate of mine? His name was Pepe Iliano.
Yeah.
He used to play in the Ford Pocket, who's a rover.
Yeah.
And
before me?
I think it's about the same year because he was playing under Barney.
Yeah, well, Barney got there in 80. I didn't get there till 87.
Yeah, right. Well, he turned around. He rocked up against Carl Fragamini.
Yeah.
In his first game, and Carl Fragamini says, "You touch the ball and knock your effing head off."
Oh, jeez.
There you go.
Gee, that's aggressive. He was going to give him cold baked beans out the can, Grant.
I reckon he was, and I reckon he was spitting them out too.
So what's the story in all of that? Did he knock him out or not?
No, I just wanted to know if you
I didn't.
played alongside him.
No, sorry.
He had to retire because he had some injuries. And
okay. He would have been around with Greg Turnbull then if he was early 80s.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And he actually owns White House Furniture.
Okay. Oh, wow. Grant, thank you. Well done. Cold baked beans for Grantley. Hello, Brian.
How you going?
Got a choke?
Yes. Well, I think one of your players, I don't know which final it was, Andrew Jarman, straight in front. Was it a prelim or a semi-final? He kicked a point. To put you in front.
That was 93.
The same one. Yeah, 93 again.
It was 20 out directly. He loses sleep on that one, Brian.
Yeah, I know he does. He's opposition. But the thing is, you have to have toast, cheese, and cooked baked beans.
Well, now we've got our... Now we've got ourselves a little culinary session. We might have to get Chris Jarmer in from Jarmers.
He could help us
Fancy
out.
Made Easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fancy, but his baked beans cold out the can. That's not fancy.
Yeah, he would do his own beans, and they would be magnificent.
How do you best do baked beans too? I'm sure there's different ways you can make them pretty tasty.
Well, I would say you won't get them out of a can.
This is the only advice I'll give you.
No way.
If you're going on a road trip the next day, don't have baked beans the day before. That's all I'll say.
It's a good piece of advice, actually.
You know, that's solid.
5:30. Time for the headlines. We'll talk Gather Round next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Optus has blamed a software upgrade for its major outage that left millions without phone connections and internet services. Compulsory face masks have been reintroduced in 2 of Adelaide's public hospitals. A 17-year-old has taken to the skies to become the youngest female pilot to circumnavigate Australia. And in sport, the Crows are focusing on Saturday's AFLW semi-final against the Swans. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Got a breakdown causing pretty solid delays on the drive home at Mawson Lakes, Main North Road near Montague Road. Linden Park, twisted traffic lights slowing things up, Portrush Road near Greenhill Road, and sluggish in the Parklands. Parts of Wakefield Street closed near East Terrace. That's in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. You find cameras Aldinga Beach Road, Aldinga Beach, and Blacktop Road at Gould Creek. Flight Centre's big red sale has landed. Limited time offers on flights, cruises, tours, and holiday packages. Head online or in-store now and save. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA weather, partly cloudy tonight down to 12, a morning shower or 2 tomorrow, 23. Right now it's 20. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
The Grand Princess, the ship with 300 people on board, had either been struck down with COVID, gastro, or COVID and gastro.
Informing Adelaide.
So, Rosie, how was the holiday? Did it mar the holiday completely? Was it a nice holiday until the very end? How did it play out?
It was a nice holiday. We had no problem. The crew and the staff were constantly cleaning. It hasn't marred the holiday at all.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
For over 100 years, Alfred James Funeral Homes has been here for families in their time of need. Alfred James Funeral Homes is built on a legacy of compassion, honour and service. We are always here, yesterday, today and tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, Alfred James has something new coming, a way to honour a life in the most extraordinary way, one that is truly out of this world. Alfred James Funeral Homes, honouring a life.
Hi, Jerry Harvey. Optus. Kick them when they're down. Really? I thought Australians were better than that. It could happen to any company. Could be your turn next time. For what it's worth, Harvey Norman will support Optus. Yes, we will support Optus. If you think Optus is getting a raw deal, then you think like us. Need a new phone? It's an Optus deal at Harvey Norman. Tell them Jerry sent you.
Go, Harvey, go! And now, Rowey, I'm pretty sure your swear jar will be full to the brim at home.
Chockers.
It's
full of cold baked beans too. There's another 3 people. I second the cold baked beans out the can. I'm going to need to get a new saying.
It's unbelievable.
I bet your boy Urban team would have cold baked beans.
Oh, they would indeed. But look, there's a swear jar there.
Okay.
That's it's full of goodness because it's the promises they make. They swear always to be the best they possibly can. Now it's full of pledges and promises from the whole team at Buy Urban. Things they swear they'll do for you.
Well, from Coxie all the way down. Yeah. Here's one from old Jazzy, little Jazzy, or young Jazzy, or Jasmine. Gee, I hate how I always say someone's old.
Yeah,
Jazzy's only 20.
Oh, she's young.
Anyway, Jazzy, she's the operations manager at Buy Urban. Now, Jazzy is like a human dynamo, the driving force behind the success of all bathroom renovation projects. Jazzy swears to ensure all trades arrive on time, every time. Now, that is a mean feat.
Not easy.
That is the great thing about
Well
Buy
done.
Urban. Their tradies have been with them for years.
Correct.
They're not as if they're on the...
Nah, exactly.
Jazzy's trying to search for someone. No. Timmy, you're doing the tiling. Centimetre perfect. Get there, you clown.
On time, every time. For a
Done.
team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. I nearly gave them a new name there. Adelaide's home renovation experts. That's Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens.
Experience the Silver Sea difference with Silver Sea and Phil Hoffman Travel. Immerse yourself in all-inclusive, ultra-luxurious ocean travel with small ship intimacy, spacious all-suite accommodation and personalised butler service. Discover the wonders of Australia and New Zealand from Brisbane to Sydney or Auckland to Sydney and enjoy suite upgrades, plus up to $1,000 shipboard credit per suite. Offer ends 30th of November. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au.
Oh, you're gardening now? How am I supposed to work? Oh, shut up! Wait, KFC are doing $1 Wicked Wings online.
Shut up and take my money!
Max 15 per order, online and pick up only, not everywhere and not forever.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 6. Matilda Garrett to join us very
Tilly.
shortly. Won back-to-back titles with our Aussies and as captain, so she's winning everything she touches in the netball world at the moment. And more of your calls, 8223 0000.
That is correct. Well, Gather Round has been announced. There's going to be not one, but 2 games up at
How
Mount
good's
Barker.
that?
They had a fantastic crack at it last season, and they're doing it all again. We've got the acting mayor on the line of Mount Barker, Simon Westwood. Welcome, Simon.
G'day, how you boys going?
Yeah, not too bad. Now, congratulations. Bit of a greedy bugger, though, mate. 2 games now. You'll have the whole round up there soon.
If we could, we would.
Exciting, though, mate, to get another one.
Oh, look, it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. It builds on what we did last season. We did a magnificent job getting 1 game. So it's only justified that we get 2 this time, I reckon.
So what can you plan perhaps this time, a little bit more time around it, and 2 games that you couldn't do last year?
Well, I think last year we had a fair few visitors to the area who were day trippers to come up for the game and then went back downtown. I think especially this time with 2 games, one on the Saturday, one on the Sunday, we're going to have people who are going to stay in the area, and they might stay for 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 days, which means the economic benefit for the area is going to be fantastic.
You're a bit like me, Simon, the old Kickovic. 1 o'clock Saturday, Sydney Eagles, Sunday noon, Suns, GWS, no Melbourne teams.
No, I would have preferred to see St Kilda playing up here, but you know what? You can't have everything.
No, they're at Nord. 8,000 or thereabouts was the capacity at your great stadium there. Any learnings from the crowd or the facilities to the fencing to anything or the infrastructure that you'll do this year? Will you try and get a bigger capacity or that's it?
Look, the plans are still early and we're in it with the AFL and the state government to see what we can do. I'd love to see an increased capacity. I'd like to see an extra 1,000 or 1,500 would be fantastic. It'd be really, really, really buzzing then.
Yeah. Any more infrastructure support the AFL will do? Is there anything else that you can put in for that they can, whiz up and throw some bees and honey at?
Yeah, look, there'd be a lot of things that we'd be asking for, but it's really, really early stages. It was only announced yesterday. I'm sure that the staff are sitting in the background and they're working on a plan.
Are they good to work with, the AFL?
They were magnificent last time. They were really, really good, and I can't see it changing this time.
Okay, and will you do anything different? Were there any big takeaways from last time, Simon?
The big takeaway was that it was an amazing success.
Wow!
I think it's going to be hard to eclipse what we did last year, to be honest, because it was a really, really good effort. I think we could probably, as I said, we can probably increase the crowd and probably get a bit more community involvement in it. I think we'll be kicking goals.
Well, Simon, you mentioned about this time you could probably have people being able to stay for longer and the like. What were your accommodation levels like last time you did it? And, do you have enough accommodation up there, or do people need to sort of put their houses up for
Airbnb?
For rent? Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they did anyway. But look, it was. We had enough accommodation last time. I mean, it's a fair area through the Adelaide Hills.
True. Down
through the Langhorne Creek and out to Murray Bridge and up through the Barossa. I mean, really, it's only 3/4 of an hour away at most.
Yeah.
And so there's a fair bit of accommodation available. And I think, I'd like to see absolutely every room full. I'd like to see half of the half of the other people offering up rooms as well.
Yeah, because, well, you've got Sydney v West Coast, so that's, 2 states there. You've got GWS and the Gold Coast, so you've got 3 different states to pull some visitors in from. That's going to be attractive.
It's going to be, and there's going to be I think there's a fairly good supporter base for all of those 4 teams without too many worries at all.
Excellent, mate. Well, all the best once again. We'll be in touch, I reckon, before, obviously, this all launches, but we'll get some updates from you and everybody else up there at Mount Barker.
Anytime. That'd be fantastic.
Good on you. Simon Westwood, the acting mayor of Mount Barker, and they're excited about the opportunity of hosting 2 games at Gather Round.
If that's the best facility, best oval in the Adelaide Hills, and it is just fantastic. Well, I've got the best suburban ground in the Southern Hemisphere. Gather Round, early April, round 4. Lions and Kangas Friday, twilight. Tigers Saints, 2:50 Sunday. Norwood CEO, Mike Cobber, James Fantasia. Jimmy, welcome.
Thanks, Rowey. Great to be on. And Timmy, good to hear from you boys.
Yeah. Now, we did such a good job last year. Everyone raved about the parade. Everyone. I love seeing it full. How good is it when it's chockers?
Oh, it's terrific. And I think, Rowey, one of the really, great parts of this is, we've just heard from how we can get out to the hills and really display that part of our city. But it is nice to have a traditional ground as well, and a suburban ground. And I think last year, as you rightly pointed out, just to see the place full again and the atmosphere that created, was enormous. So I know the teams that are lined up to play will be looking forward to the crowd and the fact that it's just such a great venue to watch football from.
My word, it is. It looks great. I think the activations. The festivities that were on the outside is what I love, James. And you're going to shut the street again and make it even bigger next year.
Yeah, spot on, Rowey. And I think this is where the collaboration with, the Norwood, Payneham, St Peter's Council are 100% behind us and the event, together with the league and the AFL. I think you're going to see some fairly strong activations that, will be very inclusive for the whole of the community. And you rightly pointed out, we had this big screen out the front, and you could sit and watch the other games as well. And it just it allowed people to, to really mix and mingle and enjoy the full atmosphere both in and outside the ground.
So the old parade, food and wine festival, that sort of atmosphere to come back. Will that be on the Friday night, or will it be on the Sunday game?
I think what they'll do, Timmy, is because the Friday, creates its own levels. They'll probably get it started on that Friday, but the idea is to try and, have something over the whole of the weekend and encourage some young kids to come down, and there'll be some opportunities to come and try, as well as, meet some of their heroes. And I'm looking forward to it because, look, it turned out so well last year. And given, we know what to expect and how we can drive it, I just think it'll be just another level again. And I'm looking forward to that part of it. And the more people that we can, get involved, even our own, regular community people, despite all those that will come in, I think if they can embrace, and we've got lots of activations, I think that's exactly the way that, that we'll get the best from the event for sure.
Last year, everybody had that weekend off. I would imagine that's going to happen once again, so you can be nice and clear headed to run the whole event. Did that work out all right as far as, being the 4th, 5th, 6th of April? That works out all right as far as getting on with the sample season?
Yeah, I think so. And look, that'll be the weekend after the Easter break. Yes. So, footy will be up and everyone will be waiting to get going, no doubt, Timmy. And as you know, the first round is always pretty exciting, especially if it's around that Easter.
Yes.
We really activate from Thursday right through to Monday. And then to have the gather round, on the back of that, it's a great way to launch our seasons and get people really in the football mode. And we all know how big it was last year. I think it'll be bigger again this year.
Did you have one learning from the experience last year that you went, yep, we got that box ticked now? Or did you learn that after your first game into your second?
Oh, we learned that after our first game, mate. I think. Yeah. Our biggest issues will be around, the servicing of those bigger crowds. And what we find is that, and we've opened up a few of those canteens at bars now, so it's very similar to the major venues where you go in and you self-serve, and that just reduces it. But we'll put in a heap more opportunities for people to be able to purchase, whether that be food or beverage, right around the stadium. So I think we've learned, and also the fact, working with the AFL and even getting people in and out of the venue. That was a challenge in the first game, but we really worked that out, and the flow was terrific for the second one. So I think we've learned a fair bit out of that as well.
There'll be 7 other sample clubs we'd love to host. Was this a bid system, or they just rang you out the blue and they said, Jimmy, you got it again?
No, I think it was a fairly robust consultation with the AFL over a period of time. We were actually hopeful that we may have landed on, knowing a little bit earlier, to be honest. And then I think there was a number of factors that they were looking at, and one being trying to see if there was an opportunity to take it to the Barossa. But as you know, getting the surface is probably one of the main features. And we've been very fortunate, having getting through last year, and then the base that our ground's been able to have, and obviously we're hosting the AFLW games as well, so we're getting some support from Adelaide Oval and their caretaker. So there's some of the factors I think that they've looked at, Rowey, and and at the same time, there's an issue around the cost for once you bump in the infrastructure, it's a fairly large expense for those for the television coverage. So I think it makes sense. And the last piece for us, I think, always works, even though it's a 4:30 game on Friday. The fact that we can turn on the lights and then provide that level of atmosphere as well, I think that's a real bonus. But there's no doubt every club would love to have the opportunity of hosting at some point in time.
Well, I was kind of hoping the girls would do the right thing, win on the weekend, straight to a home prelim, straight to home. We would have had an AFLW grand final at Nord Oval, and they blew it.
Oh, well, I think there's still an outside chance, right? They can get through, and the weekend of the prelim, if Brisbane lost and Adelaide won, there's still an outside chance. But no, it was an unbelievable game on the weekend, and the girls were pretty unlucky in the end not to get it over the line. I thought they just fell short of being able to straighten up, but gee whiz, they've been playing some great footy throughout the season.
Good work, Jimmy. When I ring next time, just return my call. Thanks.
Thanks, boys.
You got a touch of the Keith Thomases about you, mate.
What happened then? I must have gone through to the wicket-keeper.
No, I'm just joshing. Jimmy, love you. You know that. Keep up the great work.
Love talking to you, both of you boys. Well done to both of you.
See you, buddy.
Done a great job at Nord.
James Fantasia.
Done a great job there for my club.
Old teammate of ours.
It is, yeah. Oh, you played with him as well.
Yeah, I did.
Where'd you play with him? State footy.
We won an under-15 Nord premiership together.
Oh, I know. Everyone forgets that.
He always tries to remind me. I'm surprised he didn't bring it up. Yeah,
was he a back pocketer then?
It's a sin on my soul. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, I reckon he was more a midfielder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fantasia.
Can play.
Fantasia. Did he would have stood you when he went over to...
Yeah, he did. Yeah, when he went to... Well, both at Nord and Woodville. So, good lad. Great lad.
Good on you, Jimmy.
8223 0000 is the number. It's 12 minutes to 6. We'll get to your calls in a moment. First, your traffic.
We've got a breakdown causing heavy delays and all kinds of headaches at the moment at Mawson Lakes, Main North Road near Montague Road. Avoid if you can on the drive home. Twisted traffic light at Linden Park to look out for. Port Race Road near Greenhill Road, and pretty sluggish in the parklands at the moment. Wakefield Street is closed just near East Terrace. That's in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. You'll find cameras North East Road, Teacher Gully and Murray Road at Port Noarlunga. It's savings all the way today at Target with 30% off all quilt covers. Shop in-store, online or via the Target app. Today only. T's and C's apply. See online or in-store for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. At 5AA, we're passionate about promoting our local food industry. So join us for the 5AA Festival of Food. Our own resident foodie, David Pemberthy, will take us on a mouth-watering journey through some of our finest local dining spots, while interviewing some of our state's great and unique food producers, including the likes of Frederick Street Finest. Look for the fancy blue packet at your local Drake supermarket. Keep listening for our 5AA Festival of Food. Thanks to $13.95, Adelaide's 5AA.
Not all of us are lucky enough to call the hills home. We need room to breathe, space to dream. We choose to discover what is on the road less travelled. And when you turn off the freeway to Mount Barker and go left, you'll discover the home of Mazda in the hills. Mount Barker Mazda has it all. Mazda 2, 3 and 6 to BT50 and SUVs. Take the road less travelled to Mazda's home in the hills. Mount Barker Mazda, since 1954. Mount Barker Road, Totnes. LMVD 325189.
How easily could you save hundreds off your energy bills? That easy. Switch out your gas or electric hot water system for an energy-efficient heat pump with EcoVantage. Then sit back and save up to 70% on your water heating costs. And get it supplied and installed for as little as $0, thanks to government-facilitated subsidies. Yep, new hot water system from $0 that saves you hundreds. Pump your energy bills down with ecovantage.com.au.
It is 10 to 6, lines available. The biggest chokes in sport. We've got plenty of nominations for it. Got that $50 Pals voucher. Hey, after 25 years of delivering perfect service, ASIC Couriers is evolving to better reflect what they do now. They're not just couriers anymore.
No, Rowey. No. They're always the go-to for fast, secure, reliable national transport solutions. So they've been waiting up all night to come up with this. They are now known as ASIC Transport Solutions.
All Transport Solutions. Now, it's still a family business, still South Australian. They still love local community. They still support Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation and 25-odd sporting clubs. So the community side of things doesn't
Tick.
It actually
Done.
gets bigger and better.
And as they continue to grow, what are they going to need? More drivers. So if you've got a 1-ton, 2-ton van or a 1-ton ute, kickstart an amazing career with ASIC Transport Solutions. Give them a call today, ASIC.
I'm Brett Buckley from Ray White Business Sales. We've been with FIVEAA now for nearly 5 years. We noticed that fairly early, probably within about 4 to 5 months, we started to see some good quality inquiries coming through that were directly from FIVEAA. From our experience, I would highly recommend advertising on radio firstly, but more importantly on FIVEAA. Not just because of the reach, not just because you can get to your target market more effectively, but purely because of the collaborative experience that you'll have in ensuring that your marketing dollar is best spent.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit fiveaa.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to get free installation? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? 2. The largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers and get free installation on your cabinets with laminate benchtops. For a limited time, of course. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
7 minutes to 6. Very shortly we'll chat to Tilly Garrett, who was captain of our netball Australian side in the Fast Fives. You might have watched that over the weekend.
I liked it.
There was an interesting thing they did before every game.
Had a dance off.
They had every nation had their own dance in the pre-game.
I found a lot of them incredibly amusing.
Yeah.
And I loved it. The Aussie men that played over there.
Yes.
They did the nut bush, didn't they?
The nut bush.
But when they did it, honestly, it looked like 10 drunk blokes on a Saturday night. It was just...
That's perfect.
It was hilarious. I loved it, actually. But, yeah, it was not that well choreographed.
No, but it's all about
But it was good
entertainment.
fun.
Unique homestyle food. Tex, how's this one? I don't get this one, Timmy. Please help.
Okay.
I assume Port get the extra home game because of Gather Round, as the Crows got it last season.
Hey, they both got it.
That's right.
They both played at home.
Yeah.
No, I'm a bit confused on that one.
Are they talking about Thursday, about kicking it off? So Crows had Thursday, and they kicked it off against Carlton.
And they've
then
got
Port
Thursday
played
again.
Friday, and they got Thursday again.
No,
So
Port played Saturday night last season.
Okay, now they're Friday.
Now they're Friday.
Well,
So-
they'd be happy
So Port
with
got
Friday.
over the moon. And I think
Yeah.
it's a better way of doing it because they were mixed up in a double header, which didn't work.
Did Port Adelaide actually technically last year, I'll check this actually, did Port Adelaide technically have an away game though, but they played at Adelaide Oval? Is that how it worked, or was it, I might be mistaken here. I think Port Adelaide were actually technically the away side in that game, but because it was at Adelaide Oval, it was their home game regardless anyway. It was just that might be
If
what
you're
he's
trying
referring
to,
to.
if you're trying to talk about
That is what's silly about it.
Yeah, so he might be talking about the white
Yes.
shorts.
Yeah, that might be
Okay.
all it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about
This
that.
one come through. G'day, lads. Oh, yeah. Back it up. Timmy Juniper. Played for Norwood?
Yes.
That's not a passing comment, Tim.
No.
Please explain. That's from Stew Balls at Royal Park.
Yeah, it's a sin on my soul that I'm deeply ashamed
But
of.
how did you end up at Norwood?
So, it was the year 1980. I was only 14.
Okay.
And previously, my primary school coach, he took a job at Norwood to coach the first ever under-15s.
Okay.
And he rang me about playing. I said, no way, I'm not playing for Norwood. No way. And he said, oh, come on, Timmy. You don't know. I said, no, I'm not playing. No way. And I said, so if it's under-15s, I'm bound to Woodville by zone. So I'll play for Woodville like I did in the mini league and played in the premiership for them as well.
Oh, stop it.
We beat Sturt. So make it 9 in a minute. So we ended up, he said, well, Woodville don't have a team in it because it's only just starting. And I said, oh, great. I said, I can play for Port then. And I was that excited. And he goes, Port haven't got a team either. I said, well, I said, I still don't care. I'm not playing. And he goes, listen, just give it a go. You know, he said, we play Wednesday nights at Thebarton Oval. And I said, night time? Because nobody played night footy back then.
Wow.
And I said, it's at
So that
night.
was the kicker.
And he knew straight away. And he goes, yeah, it's every Wednesday night. And we play 5 games and then finals. And I went, can I wear that black stuff under my eyes? You know, like they used to wear it in the NFL and all that.
Yeah.
And he said, you can wear whatever you want. Just come along. So I went and I ended up
Putting on a Norwood strip with Jimmy Fantasia.
AGC on my shorts.
You could have ended
I
up...
felt shameful.
Oh, God.
And we were down in the final, got thrown in the middle.
And won it off your own boot. Stop it.
Anyway, we won.
Did you?
I'm a Norwood Premiership player, Stu Balls. Apologies.
Wow.
Did you get a rash when you put it on?
I felt terrible. You know, and to their credit, there was a bloke called Jock involved, and he took me to see Wally Miller with my father, and we sat in front of Wally, and my dad had no idea about sport or whatever, and he said, oh, he seems like a nice man and all the rest of it. I said, I am not playing at Norwood.
So you sat in Wally's office, and they tried to recruit you at 14.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
how
I said,
things could have changed.
I am not playing
Timmy,
here.
we could have been teammates.
I know.
Oh,
It's
God.
terrible. I'm
Instead of
breaking
getting-
out the rash as I speak about
Instead
it.
of getting punched in the guts every time I lined up. Can James Fantasia confirm Norwood will be the 20th AFL team? Oh, Brad, I don't think so.
You know,
So
way
the
back,
19th
there should have
team-
been the 15th and 16th.
Well, that's true. Tassie is the 19th. Done.
Correct.
Put down the glasses, boomski.
Yeah.
They're talking Perth will get a third.
Now, you were giving us some insight into just how big Perth is now.
Mate, it's 3 times the size of us.
Which, once upon a time, we were always on the same metrics.
We're probably bigger. So I think NT needs to get one, don't they?
The only issue with the NT is population. It's always had
transient
population floating through for work and the like, and never any more than sort of 100,000 in Darwin, and it's just a bit tough to sort of get the numbers economically to make it work.
How do
I
you
mean,
justify it?
they're sort of even worried about Tassie as we speak. But is there an announcement coming up?
Tomorrow, the AFL will be travelling to Tassie, and there'll be some sort of announcement. Don't know what yet.
It has to be the Oval.
I think it's got to be.
They've nailed it.
Because they've had
all parties have come together bipartisan, is that the word?
Yeah, when they all agree.
And they've gone, yep, okay.
Because
rubber stamp it.
There was the issue about where it was going to be. So
Well, that's the key.
Maybe they've solved that.
Yeah, okay.
And that'll get
Excellent.
announced tomorrow.
Tassie.
They're on the way.
Looking forward to announcing that tomorrow. It's 2 minutes to 6. We'll chat to Tilly Garrett after the 6 o'clock news.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Right now, Toyota Material Handling is having a massive clear out of 2022 and 23 plated forklifts. Score great deals across a selected range of new Toyota forklifts currently in stock. Counterbalance and reach forklifts, walkie stackers and more. So if it's 22 or 23 plated, get a great Toyota forklift deal. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift. T's and C's apply. Offer ends December 31.
With energy prices continuing to soar, Solar Heart is helping smart Australians soak up more sunshine, store more energy, and save more money on every bill. And right now, you can save up to $750 on Solar Heart solar power systems. The bigger the system, the bigger the saving. But with government incentives set to reduce, it pays to get in quick. Don't settle for soaring energy prices. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now, I know a great team and I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. I've known them for a long time. David Shipway is one of the best blokes you'll ever meet. BL Shipway, they've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. And if you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, the South Australian team you can count on.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, a morning shower or two tomorrow, 23. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
From chips to replacements, make Complete Windscreens your insurer repairer of choice. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
A cruise line which docked locally today says the number of unwell guests was in the single digits upon its arrival. There were concerns over the weekend with reports of a COVID and gastro outbreak on board. SA is experiencing another COVID wave. Dr Nicola Spurrier says we need to be vigilant.
We are in quite a different place now with the pandemic. It's good to be alert, but definitely not to be alarmed. We need to expect to have waves probably every 3 to 6 months, as this is still a relatively new virus in terms of our whole population and whole community.
More details today on what went wrong last week, leading to Optus's massive outage, which cut phone and internet services to millions of customers. The telco says an issue during a routine software upgrade caused its key routers to disconnect from the network. Staff then had to be dispatched to a number of sites across the country to manually reboot them. A pro-Palestine rally has been held outside Parliament House in Canberra today, calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. The Greens attended the protest, demanding Israel stop its bombardment. Israel is rejecting calls for a ceasefire, arguing the terror group Hamas must be destroyed. Greens leader Adam Bant telling the crowd the federal government must demand an end to the conflict.
Labor says that it is concerned about the rising number of civilian casualties. So I asked the Prime Minister, how high does the number need to go before Labor will join France and the rest of the world in calling for a ceasefire? How many more children need to die? How many more civilians need to suffer?
We're being asked to reduce our consumption and consider reusing items this recycling week. There's also a push to make advertising more green and for people to consider buying second-hand. Householders' options to protect the environment President Frank Andres says we need to minimise the mountains of clothes entering landfill.
It's a matter of shopping wisely and sort of minimising the amount of wastage that you might incur by over-consuming.
A 17-year-old is looking to make her mark on the aviation industry by becoming the youngest female pilot to circumnavigate Australia. Isabel Evans has the story.
Remember the name Chloe Familton, because in 20 days' time she may just become the youngest female pilot to have flown around Australia solo. Inspired by her grandfather's career in the Air Force, Chloe decided to learn to fly a plane 2 years ago when she was just 15. Taking off from Cessnock Airport this morning bound for the Sunshine Coast, Chloe will spend the next 3 weeks flying from airport to airport across Australia by herself. The 17-year-old says it's all about encouraging other young women to get their wings, with females making up just 5% of Australian pilots.
Now turning to 5AA sport, tickets have gone on sale for this weekend's AFLW semi-final between the Crows and Sydney. The teams will go head-to-head at the parade on Saturday night. Adelaide's Anne Hatchard has told Rowey and Timmy G there are no previous encounters to draw on.
Really odd, having never played them, and now suddenly we're meeting them in a final, so it'll be a really interesting one, but no, we'll be keen to get out at Norwood under the lights and have a good crack at Sydney.
On AFL, the Swans have reshuffled their football department with former GWS coach Leon Cameron taking on a new role. The NRL claims it has addressed fears of player burnout in its newly released draw for 2024. Chief Executive Andrew Abdo says the physical demands on players will be less than last season.
Player wellbeing is paramount, and we've worked incredibly hard to reduce the number of 5-day turnarounds from 30 last year down to 26, and importantly no team has more than 3 5-day turnarounds.
And Novak Djokovic will end the year as world number 1 for a record-extending 8th time after winning his opening game at the ATP Finals. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Torrensville, Carby Bus, Henley Beach Road near Hardy's Road. Mawson Lakes a breakdown, Main North Road near Montague Road, and Linden Park twisted traffic light on Port Rush Road near Green Hill Road. In the Parklands, Wakefield Street is closed to East Terrace in preparation for the Adelaide 500 in a couple of weeks. And look out for cameras tonight, Grand Boulevard, Seaford and High Streets at Wollonga. Turn that Monday frown upside down and try Pork's deliciously easy sweet and sour pork stir fry for dinner. Visit pork.com.au for the recipe and get some pork on your fork. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight down to 12, a morning shower or two tomorrow 23, Wednesday partly cloudy 23, Thursday 22. Right now it is 20 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thanks, I'm Kate Collins. Tonight's headlines. Mask mandates reinstated at 2 major Adelaide hospitals as SA battles a new COVID wave. All schools across the state have cancelled ocean-based programs after the Port Noarlunga shark attack. And buying a new car is now a lot easier thanks to an online tool released by the RAA. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 Now as soon as you're home.
Hi, Jerry Harvey. Optus. Kick them when they're down. Really? I thought Australians were better than that. It could happen to any company. Could be your turn next time. For what it's worth, Harvey Norman will support Optus. Yes, we will support Optus. If you think Optus is getting a raw deal, then you think like us. Need a new phone? It's an Optus deal at Harvey Norman. Tell them Jerry sent you.
Go, Harvey, go! Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Here's who you can support around Adelaide. Santa's Wonderland. It's where Christmas begins on this December at the Adelaide Showground. Book online and save. santaswonderland.com.au. Celebrate the 40th anniversary screening of FIVEAA, plus a live Q&A session and meet and greet with Tom Bowenson. 2:30pm Sunday, November 19 at Capri Theatre, capri.org.au. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 6. Enjoying your calls on this show this afternoon. 8223 0000 is the number. Lots of texts coming through on the Unique Homestyle Foods text line as well. We've been asking for the greatest chokes in sport. 8223 0000. Get involved.
The Aussies claim back-to-back Fast 5 titles. Joining us is our skipper, Matilda Garrett. Tilly, welcome.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And congrats, you've got your voice back.
Yeah.
Yes, I was about to say that last time I spoke to you, I didn't have my voice, so I'm a bit better today.
And captain.
Yeah, that was, a bit of a shock, but an absolute privilege and honour.
Now, you didn't start terribly fast as a team. You lost your first game, but boy, once you got it going, you girls were too good.
Yeah, no, first game against Jamaica, we lost pretty much on the buzzer. They scored a 6-point shot, which is just the nature of the game. But yeah, every game we definitely built and, we're able to finish off, which was very exciting.
Yeah, just for people that don't know, Tilly, the Fast 5 format, 5 on court at any one time. You had a squad of 10. 4 6-minute quarters, unlimited substitutions. You get those zones of a 1-pointer, 2-pointer, 3-pointer. But your power play, last 90 seconds of each quarter, you can double that score. And that's where the 6-pointer came from, wasn't it? Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah,
What
exactly
concept.
right.
I actually love it. Is it the T20 version of netball?
Pretty much. And it's, awesome. I feel like fans really get involved as well because a team could be down by 10 points and they can end up winning in the last 90 seconds. So it's a very exciting game.
No doubt. And one of the other concepts that got introduced was the before the game dancing that was going on. And
well, let's have a listen. I want some comments, Tilly.
Now, can you explain to me how you got the chipmunk version of Uptown?
Yeah, look, we last year the dance that we put out wasn't probably an A grade dance, so we wanted to get the crowd involved, so that's why we decided to go with a super upbeat song. But yeah, there was a few players in our team, probably myself and Hannah Petty, who were very nervous about the dance because we're stiff as a board. So
I saw a little
yeah,
smile on Hannah's face, and I thought there must be something going down. But gee,
I loved it.
It was amazing. I saw some of the other dancers. I thought that was quite good. But our men did the nut bush, and I've got to say that looked like a bunch of drunk blokes on a Saturday night.
It was, but the crowd seemed to love it, so they did pretty well.
Can it catch on? I mean, T20's been, well, I think it's probably taken over.
Enormous,
It's even probably bigger than Test cricket, although when you play, you're rated higher. I know we'll always have our format, but where do you see it? Where do you see it fit in? We're not going to cook the golden goose for this great game, are we?
No, that's a very, very good question. I feel like SSN will still be the game, but I definitely feel like it has a place to probably be played a little bit more because it is fun, exciting, and different, and everyone loves to watch it. So, yeah, who knows?
Any game where there's no defence, I like.
Well, it's very hard.
That's kind of the thing with this game. If you're a defender and you get the ball, and we score it, and then go straight back down your end again. So it's kind of like you don't really get too much of a reward for getting the ball back. You have to go again.
What do you get? Was there a really good trophy? Did you get yourselves a ribbon? Do how did it all work? Is there a prize money attached?
No prize money, but we did get a big trophy and everyone just got a medal at the end of the game as well. So, yeah, that was exciting.
Is it an event that perhaps gives you the opportunity to play the game, in a pre-season when you normally have to just keep fit? This is great, you're able to play, but also just having a slightly less serious edge to it probably makes it more enjoyable?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it's exciting that a lot of players from different teams around Australia, you get to come together. You usually are competitors, so it was nice just to be in the one team and, like you said, stay fit, and it's still amazing to represent our country at the same time.
True. And Georgie Horges, I thought her 4-pointer was an absolute ripper and important in that final.
It definitely was. All of our goalers, but the combination of Georgie and Lucy, I think having played together for so long and since they were playing for SA as little junior athletes, really helped across the tournament.
What's your fixture now for Australia? And then how are you going with Thunderbirds? We're the reigning champs. When does all pre-season finish and start and all that sort of stuff, Tilly?
That's a very good question. We still currently haven't had our contracts renegotiated, so we're kind of all just waiting for that to unfold. But yeah, definitely I think over the next couple of weeks we'll start back running and I don't think encore, but yeah, start back getting fit in our pre-season.
Yeah. So are you frustrated? Are you all angry? Where's it at? How far away is it?
It's Catherine Harvey's job. We spoke to her the other day.
No, we did, and we were disappointed. Then Cricket Australia come in and, they're going to bankroll you to a degree. I mean, honestly, it's just messy, Tilly.
It is messy. It definitely is. There's no hiding that. Yeah, I think as players, obviously, we don't want to be unemployed, which is what we currently are at the moment, and we have been for the last, since the start of October. So for us, we do really want it to get sorted as quickly as possible, but we also want it to be a very fair and reasonable deal as well. So that's why we're all standing in solidarity, to make sure we get something that's fair.
Yeah, and I'm glad you didn't boycott the Fast Five and all that. You're fronting up and you're hoping that it'll all get sorted, Tilly.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. And it definitely will. It has to.
Yeah, well done. Well, I hope it does quickly. Well done, Captain, our Tilly. Well done. Get yourself fit, stay fit, and go you mighty Thunderbirds when you get back into pre-season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Matilda Garrett there. She's a ripper. It's bloody entertaining.
She's a world champion captain.
of Australia.
Correct.
How good's that?
Of Australia, not just any old.
Yeah.
Gee, I hope they can sort that out.
I will.
Yeah, they will definitely in time for sure. It is currently 14 minutes after 6. We'll take a quick break. 8223 300 is the number. We'll get back to your calls on the other side of this.
The FIVEAA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. At FIVEAA, we're passionate about promoting our local food industry. So join us for the FIVEAA Festival of Food. Our own resident foodie, David Pemberthy, will take us on a mouth-watering journey through some of our finest local dining spots, while interviewing some of our state's great and unique food producers, including the Family Cook Meal Delivery Service, specialising in traditional family favourites with a modern twist. Keep listening for our FIVEAA Festival of Food. Thanks to $13.95 Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Mum, Dad,
Hey, honey.
I've met someone.
Oh my God, is he a doctor? A lawyer? Is he a surgeon?
He's a concreter. From Adelaide Exposed Concrete.
But why? Didn't you say so?
At Adelaide Exposed Concrete, we're committed to the highest standards of service, design and workmanship.
Finally, we've got a concreter in the family.
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground, all year round.
Rising cost of living pressures are hitting everyone, some people more than others. If you're struggling with your home loan or credit card payments, there may be ways your bank can help, like lowering your home loan or credit card payments, restructuring the length of your loan to reduce them, moving you to interest-only payments for a while, or deferring them for a period. Don't tough it out on your own. Please, talk to your bank.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
For over 60 years, our community has placed their trust in Burnside Hospital for exceptional, compassionate and personalised care. Our comfortable facilities and serene gardens create an atmosphere that lets patients feel more at home. We're a not-for-profit community hospital and partner with leading visiting medical officers, providing a variety of surgical specialties, from orthopaedics to urology, breast and endocrine, maxillofacial, oncology and maternity. Burnside Hospital, your destination for exceptional care always.
I like to call it a passion. I can be sitting relaxing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
The new Kia Seltos. That's what's poppin'. And yeah, it's got options. The new Kia Seltos. The word is out.
Brand new whip, just hopped in.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
It's been gone for decades. It's a thing of the past. But even today, it haunts some of us. If you suffered from polio as a child or it affected your parents, Polio SA Support Group would like to hear from you. Symptoms like weakness, joint pain and fatigue may still persist and can be managed. Polio SA is committed to making life for polio survivors as comfortable as possible. Find out more at poliosa.org.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
18 minutes after 6. You can jump on the phone, 8223 300 lines are open.
Yeah, well, this is a good segue. Unique home-style food text. Rowey, that goal umpire that stuffed up the Crows game should eat cold baked beans out the can. He should. A lot of our listeners like cold baked beans out the can.
They do.
The fixture comes out middle to end of this week.
We think it'll either be Wednesday or Thursday morning.
Okay, brilliant. Now, a lot of it hinges on, apparently, our chairman getting his hairy chest out with Tim Silvers and beating down the door of Andrew Dillon, the AFL CEO, and saying, that point that wasn't a point that cost us a final, we want a favourable draw. We want a favourable draw. So they went to where? Ballarat, yep. Tassie, Darwin, I think Perth, Sydney, Geelong, Brisbane. I mean, you shouldn't have to have something like that happen to get a favourable draw. You shouldn't be doing all the heavy lifting. I'd much rather than up did the review and we're in the finals, we could scare a few people. You can't get anything back. And AFL CEO Andrew Dillon, I thought he said it perfectly. Have a listen.
Look, we had conversations with the Crows about that, and the way that from John Olsen to Tim Silvers and Matthew Nixon, the way that the club handled that was a real credit to them. The fixture that the Crows get or don't get, that'll stand on its own 2 feet. They had a really good season. They've got a great young list, and I think they play a really good brand of football.
Excellent. So no Ballarat, no Darwin, main stadiums, and don't send us to Geelong again. That's just a loss. Haven't won there for 100 years. Well, no one does.
Geelong are allowed to have home games.
Well, yeah, but don't keep putting us there. Put Collingwood there. Send bloody Collingwood
never
there.
do that.
Well, there you go. That's what I mean.
I know, and this
So
is why...
You sent that on our WhatsApp, Rowey, the fix.
In fixture.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, honestly, we shouldn't have had that trauma happen for that to happen.
Correct.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to the fixture coming out. I like John Ralph. I mean,
he speaks well.
He friend of show. He's very respected reporter. So this is not anything against him. He is very Victorian, and he's allowed to be. As much as we're South Australian, he's allowed to be Victorian, but it does skew a little bit. An article in the paper, Connor Rosey would command $15 million over 9 years if he was to return to Victoria. Not too sure. Is that
what's wrong with that sentence?
Did he take a holiday there? Or?
Where's the editor? Does he mean Zach Butters?
Yes, I think there might have been a mistake there. I think that should have read Butters would likely command $15 million over 9 years if he was keen to return to Victoria.
A little kiddie mistake, but I think he wants to stay. So do you get more money to price someone out of a club? Why wouldn't Port Adelaide pay him $15 million over 9 years?
I think they're preparing to make sure that both Rosie and Butters are signed, and not targets of other people. You're building.
So here's my question
your club
to you.
Around those two.
Well, you are, but there's another bloke called JHF.
Yep, correct. Who's already locked in?
Well, he is. Yeah. He is. Will you be able to keep those three for the journey? And are they the three that are going to win you the flag? Well, take you to the promised land.
You certainly want to build your midfield around that, and the midfield is very important to winning a flag. So
midfields win flags.
Yeah, you definitely want to build that around those three. So yeah, you are committing to making sure that they're the guys that are going to carry you.
Okay,
and it's a great commitment both ways.
Yeah, would you play Butters $1 million a year?
Yeah.
Would you play Rosie $1 million a year?
Yep, no dramas.
And would you play JHF $1 million a year?
Done.
Well, there's $3 million.
Yep, correct. And with the extra money that's coming into the game, I remember saying to you, we've got to get used to these bigger numbers because we're not used to talking them. Yeah,
seven digits. Yeah. It's a big jump from 6.
It's a massive number
per year.
Yeah, but as we said,
the game affords it.
It keeps going up and up. The average wage will be over $400,000, and you're sort of going, "Wow, I was average." So I wouldn't mind
half a mil almost.
Half a mil.
Nah,
but
you'd be on a half a mil. It's massive money now, isn't it?
It is. But look, you've got to get those things right. And I think it's one area I think Port, through their list management, are very good at doing. Like they know where the numbers need to fit and who needs to fit in them. So they've done well in that area in the past. So I would imagine they'll get this right.
You've got, as in you, Port, your club, $3 million players.
No,
how many have the Crows got?
Well,
Dawson's knocking on that door.
He should be knocking on that door, and you want to keep him at that.
Isaac Rankin?
Isaac's probably going to probably next deal because remember he didn't sign for that long.
No,
till the end of 24, I think it was.
No.
So Isaac Rankin.
Do you see 7 figures for a Rochelle type?
Yeah, I reckon his next 2 years you'll know whether he's at that.
Thilthorpe type.
Again, next 2 years. Yeah.
A Fogarty type.
And again, I don't know what it is, but I feel like probably not going to see the best of Fog until I reckon Tex is gone, which is a real conundrum.
It is.
Because you don't want to just remove Tex for the sake of it when he's had an All-Australian year.
So high-end talent wins flags. You have a look at all the flags in the last 20 years. They've got 2 or 3, let's call them $1 million marquee players. Crows are still working towards that, I think. It's certainly through the midfield.
Oh, but, yeah, you've always had, and when the Oliver thing broke, you were keen because you know to get one more gun inside, you're going to be laughing if you get that play.
God, didn't they dodge a bullet there?
But
if half of what we hear is true, if half of what we hear is true.
Yeah, indeed. Speaking of star players and major contracts and signings, actually, we're going to talk World Game for just a moment. Over the weekend, the huge news that came out that Bayern Munich is set to sign our very own Nestori Irankunda. He's 17. We know he can't leave until June next year when he's 18. So that would mean after the A-League season. So we've got him for the summer. But Carl Viet said something on Adelaide Radio earlier today indicating what might be happening very soon.
I think nearly every club in Europe has contact regarding Nesta. So it has been a very long process that Nesta has been going through. I'm pretty sure that there's something going to be announced this week, so we'll just have to wait and see.
So it sounds like there's going to be an announcement very, very soon. He's signing potentially an agreed verbal agreement of £3 million fixed fee, which is about $5.7 Australian million.
That's his fee?
That's his fee.
So what's the transfer fee?
Plus add-ons.
Yeah.
So I'll have to look up the transfer fee number, but that's for him.
Yeah. I think they sound like it's going to be a record transfer fee for a player too.
For
he is a rare talent.
Yeah, look, he is. And
you know, we can tend to get excited and put people up on a pedestal, but I've watched this kid live. I've seen what he can do. His highlight reel is next level. Forget the backflips. His speed, he's got all the
power.
attributes. Oh, God. Good on him.
It will just be a matter of how they manage him as well. I think that's really important. You know, matching him up with a mentor early would be really important and valuable, I think, for him going to Europe for the first time.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich, one of the big clubs.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
So ESPN are saying that the transfer is effectively done, and that fee for Irankunda is that 5.7 mil. So that's the A-League record.
So it's been agreed.
So that's the A-League agreement. Yeah, that's quite incredible. 5.7
So that's
mil.
what Adelaide United will get.
That's what Adelaide United are getting. So not what Nestor is getting.
So they say times by, what do they say? Times by 5 minimum is what the player gets to what the fee is.
That's incredible.
He's not going to be on 20
way.
mil, is he?
Surely not.
No, I wouldn't
At
think
17, about to turn 18.
No.
God, I wish it was his manager.
Where'd you get that formula
Is it in
from?
euros?
Well, when's a transfer fee be more than what the player's
No,
paid?
that's true, but I'm not sure if he's worthy of that just yet, but he might be in years to come.
A lot of the times.
So when Messi left, he might the transfer fee to, let's just say, Barcelona might have been 100 million.
A lot of the times, the transfer fee, there's a negotiated percentage for the player.
That's exactly right.
So
correct.
If it's like 10%, well, you say, well, there you go, you've already got 600,000 in your bank. Thank you very much. That's before you get a contract.
Market rate.
So for Messi, he'd get 10 million of that 100 million transfer.
Oh, jeez.
Quite
That's
incredible.
if it's 10.
How
It could be
can
higher.
any other sport compete with the world game?
You really can't.
It just can't.
That's crazy money. Isn't it?
Crazy money.
27 minutes after 6. We're going to chat Gather Round with the Premier, Peter Malinauskas, on the other side of this.
The FIVEAA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. Make sure you join Rowey and Timmy G as they broadcast live from the Adelaide Auto Expo at the Showgrounds this Friday. Feast your eyes on Australia's best hot rods and street machines. There's heaps of traders and an Icons of Adelaide display with legendary show cars from the 70s and 80s, plus an EV dream car garage. So come along to the Adelaide Auto Expo and catch up with Rowey and Timmy G as they broadcast live from the Showgrounds this Friday from 4 p.m.
If it pops, or if it twists, you'll find it at FIVEAA. If it comes in a can, or is best in a glass, you'll find it at FIVEAA. If you serve it on the rocks, or with a paper umbrella. In fact, whether it's wine, beer or spirits, whatever you fancy, you'll find it at FIVEAA. FIVEAA, your local independent SA family liquor stores.
What you do in your loo is entirely up to you, but a sweet ensuite every day is a treat. Bathrooms by Design create a luxurious bathroom experience you can cherish every time. We can help you create your dream, a classic bathroom with a clawfoot bath, a stylish minimalist ensuite that's classy and timeless. It's up to you. A new loo? Very you. Reward yourself every day with a luxurious bathroom thanks to Bathrooms by Design. Go to bathroomsbydesign.com.au.
The sun never retires, but we do, and power bill shock should retire with us.
That's why Warner Close Retirement Living offers environmentally friendly units equipped with the latest solar panels at no cost to you. Their industry-leading smart solar system keeps energy bills as low as possible, today and into the future. Switch off power bill shock when you rent a retirement unit with Warner Close. Visit warnerclose.com.au. SA Community Owned.
I'm Kathy Nagel, the Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Many people don't know that they don't